RBT family, what is the deal? It's your dog Willie Jack, and we back, baby. You know what's going on. We back in full effect. It's the 2026 NFL Draft, and guess who's in the building? My dog, my brother, my ace, man. Y'all see him. You know me, you love him. We call him Chop. You can call him Mr. Rams tonight, man. Shout out to my dog Chop, man. Tapping in, joining your dog, man. OG watch party like we used to do back in the day, man. I'm fired up, man. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, Willie Jack, you just don't know, man. I've been so excited to get into this show today, man. I've been excited all day. I've been talking about this at work, you know what I'm saying? Talking to CB, my favorite co-worker. Man, now I appreciate you for letting me back on, man, so we can get back to our old bag, man. Talk a little ball talk tonight, man. So I'm excited. You know that.
Hey, man, already, man. And look here, man. Look, hey, I'm telling you, bro. Just like you said, man, we still talk ball, but man, I'm not gonna lie. I've been ever since we decided we was gonna, you know what I'm saying, get back in this form, dog. I ain't been stopped thinking about it since. So I'm right there with you, big dog. I'm right there with you, man. Also, RBT family, man. We apologize to y'all. We had some technical difficulties, but we here. We made it, man. It's gonna be a good time, and we gonna have a good time in a long time, man. So y'all stay tapped in, man. I'm gonna try to catch up. Let's catch up in this chat, man. Say what's up to some of these folks. Oh, first one in the door was today. My dog J2 Trill, man. What's going on? He said them real members only tonight, man. You know what's going on. J2 Trill, man. Talk to me, man. Tell me what your Cowboys gonna do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, look here, man. Let's go. Hey, our dog, man. Shout out to my dog, Terrible Time Walker, holding it down for them funky Houston Texans. He said a real one here, and let y'all know that them Texans are still going to the Super Bowl, man, for sure. For sure. My dog. Hey, for sure. All of y'all as well. If you in here, you know what I'm saying? Drop your picks now. Drop your picks and let me and my dog Chop know what y'all thinking tonight, man. For sure. Let's see. Sis in the building said, what it do, family? What's going on? Let's go. Let's go. Look, they already talking crazy. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. Hey, there we go. There's our dog ZB, man. Let's go, man. Favorite coworker in the building. ZB, man, what them Colts doing tonight, big dog? Let's see. Hey, come on now.
You mean the Jordan. I know what you meant, though.
What's up? What'd I say, cuz?
You said what them Colts doing tonight. I know what you meant, though. Don't even worry about it.
The Chargers, ZB, my fault, big dog. The Chargers, yeah, my dog Chop got me, dog. Yeah, the Chargers, what y'all doing tonight? For sure. And y'all see what Sis said now? You know what I mean? We don't ask you for much, but hit that button for me, big dog. Like, share, subscribe. 3 Migos ain't went nowhere, man. Y'all know what's going on. Yeah, y'all know what's going on. Sis said what's going on, Chop. Let's go. Let's go.
What's going on with you?
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Let's go. But man, dog, man, I tell you first, welcome, dog. Man, it's been too long, man. I'm super excited to have you here. And then honestly, man, I know, you know what I'm saying, maybe it didn't start the way we planned it out, but go ahead and talk to me, man, about your Rams and what you're looking forward to in the draft tonight.
Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I feel like over the years, I've said through a lot of years of the Rams just being in the middle of the pack or either bad. Like a lot of years of that. Like in the 99, 2000, we won our Super Bowl. After that, I feel like we started to go downhill, and we sat in that. And we sat in that for about 15 years, man. So imagine me going through some of my more prominent years with a bad football team, man. Every day in high school, you know, even in college, having to be around Willie Jack and Dave and all them, man. I feel like they've been on my head, man, about the Rams and not being where I wanted them to be. And now I feel like we are in a fortunate situation because now we go into this draft, especially after the trade that we made to bring McDuffie over.
I want to talk about those, yeah.
So we go into this draft without many holes. So now we can actually this is a luxury pick for us, you know. And I like the spot that we're in because with the talent that's in this particular draft, we may get some guys that we really like to fall to us, you know. And I know a lot of people have been mocking wide receiver to us, and I really do like having a wide receiver, especially with Devontae Adams getting old and with the recent issues of Puka Nacua. You know, we want to bring somebody in that we know will come in and fill in and be ready to take over as probably the number 2 guy in our future. So I'm excited, man. I just want to see which one of these wide receivers fall to us because I feel like that's exactly where we're gonna go. But even if we didn't go there, I still wouldn't be mad. I'm okay with another offensive lineman, a defensive back or safety, something like that. So we'll just see what falls to us, man, and I'll be happy wherever we go.
Okay. And then forgive me, man. I'm wearing a couple hats in the background. I know you said y'all definitely looking. You think y'all gonna lean receiver? Did you have one in particular that you give me one the one you want, and then give me the one you think is gonna be there for you when you get there?
So me and you already had this conversation. I also had this conversation with ZB, and I'm not too happy about this, but I'll say where who I want. I would love if Jordan Tyson was able to fall to us. Now I know recently he's been picking up on steam in terms of his recent workout that he did. He looked good, ran well. So teams are looking at him. He's picking up steam, and people might really go to him. And to be honest, he actually is my wide receiver one on the draft board. Yeah, he
we'll get into that too.
Yeah. So he went through some of the soft tissue injuries, but he's a guy that has more wiggle, better route running. You know, he plays with a little bit more of an edge. Like he has more of those elite wide receiver traits that you want to see in comparison to like a Cardinal Tate. Cardinal Tate I think he's good all the way around, but I don't think he has anything special to him. I think when he comes into the league and he comes into his own, he can become a really good wide receiver too at the next level. But Jordan Tyson has those wide receiver one traits. So that's why I like him better. And I would hope that he could fall to us. If he doesn't, it's looking like the guy at USC, man, might fall to us, Mekhi Lemon. And there's a lot of draft hype about him. And he really put together on some good film. But when I watched him and broke his game down, I also didn't see a lot of the elite traits. He's smaller. He's not the fastest. He can catch. Now he'll go and make those contested catches, but asking him to do that at this level, where you're going to be seeing top-notch DBs, he also doesn't have like the elite quickness or change of direction that you would want to see in like a normal slot guy as well. So like there's some limitations that I see with Mekhi Lemon that kind of push me away from wanting a guy like him to come in and take over because, again, you know, we got a guy that's getting ready to, in maybe a couple of years, who's getting ready to retire, and we need a guy to step into that wide receiver spot. So I would love to have a Jordan Tyson to fall into that particular spot and not necessarily Mekhi Lemon, but I think Mekhi Lemon is probably going to be the guy that we go with.
Gotcha. And no, man, I'm in the same mind as you, man, and we'll talk more about it as far as top fives go. But Jordan Tyson was also my wide receiver one in this one as well. And I have a lot of the same thoughts as you, man. I really think he's a really slick, and I think he's got a certain slickness and kind of just savviness and nuance to the way he plays the game. Like it really put me in the mind of, and I think me and you, when we talked about this, it really put me in the mind of like a CeeDee Lamb or a Stephon Diggs as well. Like guys that really, like they really thrive in that kind of intermediate kind of area of the field where they're able to use a lot of that quickness to create like late separation at the top of their routes. He's acrobatic with the ball in the air. I love the way he goes up and can contort his body to have a chance at, getting his hands on some balls that probably are out of reach for a lot of other guys. One thing I would say, he's acrobatic in the air, but I don't necessarily think I don't think he's as reliable at the catch point in those contested situations as a guy like a Cardinal Tate or Denzel Boston, but he is able to like make those plays. But no, I'm with you on that. I think, and we talked about this a while ago as well, man, I think we see Mekhi Lemon way differently. I don't disagree with the things you're saying because athletically he's got limitations, but I imagine him like he's a different style of slot. So I would because he's not that kind of shifty jitterbug, style of slot. But he's more so that physical, rugged, do the dirty work, man. Like he goes and gets it. Like he's listed 5'11", like $190, $195, but he goes up top, man, fearless. He's got film taking some shots, boy, like between 2 and 3 defenders and coming down with that thing. You know what I mean? And so I think there's some qualities to his game that I know you're gonna hate this. There's and I don't see the I've seen people make the comparison about or no. I think you might have said that maybe his game tries to mimic Puka's a little bit in the way that he's physical with the ball in his hands, tough run after catch, that sort of thing, like toughness and move around in that certain way. And I can get on board with that. But I don't see why that's a bad thing for y'all, man. I don't see why that's a bad thing for y'all offense and McVay, which I like to do. But
see, the reason why I don't like it is because he doesn't have that same 6'2", 215-pound frame that Puka Nacua has.
Yeah.
He's walking around at 5'10", 5'11", 170, 180 pounds.
Nah, he's about 190. He's got a little weight on him. They got him listed at 195.
Okay, well, 100. We'll put 195, but still, I don't think that's a weight that we can really count on him being that physical presence that he has shown in college and expect it to translate at the next level. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want everybody to get it confused. I think Sean McVay has the creativity to make it work. You know what I'm saying? So if we get him, we're going to use him, and he's going to be effective, especially during that first year when we already have two legit receivers that's going to play their role, and he can kind of be moved around and put in a lot of different formations, and that's going to open up more things for our offense. So I think he will be utilized, but that's just not the one that I prefer, especially after Devontae Adams moves on. I need that guy that's going to be able to have the other outside spot, but also can play the slot right now. Jordan Tyson can play the slot right now, but if he needs to be moved outside, he can take care of that role as well.
No, got you. I see what's going on. I did what you're saying. Okay. And then, man, one of the members, man, my dog J2 Trill, man, he one of these Cowboy fans, he dropped some pics in the chat for us, man. He said his best case scenario, he would like to see Caleb Downs or Mansour Delane, the cornerback from LSU. He would like to see one of those guys make it to 12 and see his Cowboys grab them. And then with their second pick, he's thinking Thieneman or even Jacob Rodriguez, the linebacker for Texas Tech. I don't know if you got into Jacob Rodriguez film at all from Texas Tech, the linebacker. 20 feels a little rich, man. I don't think you got to spend the 20th pick to get Rodriguez personally, but I don't know if you had thoughts on him. Now, one thing I would say, my dog J2 Trill, man, his second comment with the news or with the discussions that have came out here just in these last few days about the Cowboys, and doesn't look like at all signing George Pickens to a long-term deal is not even in the cards. And so they set the line to play on the tag or else, or play on the tag or it is what it is. So he went ahead and signed the tag. And my dog J2 Trill speculated it's possible we could see some style of like tag and trade type of action tonight. I don't know, man, if you got thought, and I know this is kind of relatively new and on the fly, but if you had to give me a team that might make that style of move for George Pickens tonight, who would you think?
Okay. Let me think on this. One, let me say I don't think it's happening. I've been kind of paying attention as well, and George Pickens went ahead and signed that tag today. So he went ahead and signed it, and so I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think they're gonna trade him. But I'll say this: if they do trade him away, I think it's going. I think it'll be to the detriment of George Pickens, because I think he'll end up going somewhere like a Miami or a I can see him getting traded to like a New Orleans, somewhere. If they do make this trade, the Cowboys are going to try to move up. So you have to look into those teams that are in those areas where they could possibly move up, and and some of those other teams can afford to move back. The Jets, they are a team that could be somebody in the running for like a George Pickens, but I don't think it's going to actually happen. I think he's going to stay put. He's going to play out on the tag, and that's kind of how that's what we're going to see moving forward for the Cowboys. But he was so effective for the Cowboys. I think they get themselves in trouble with this every year. They need to go ahead and sign George Pickens, figure out a way to keep him because of how good he was for this offense this past year.
No, I dig what you. I agree with a lot of that as well. I think I think it's man. These draft night trades are tough. But one thing I would say is we have seen it before. If you remember when AJ Brown was traded from the Titans to the Eagles in a draft day trade, and so we have seen it before. I don't know realistically if it'll happen tonight, especially as quickly as it came about, because he just signed that tag today, even making it eligible. A lot of the time, some of these conversations, if they would have had to have been had over the course of these last couple of weeks to kind of lay the groundwork for this type of scenario. So I'm not sure if we actually see it. But what I would say is, and also J2 Chill, man, for your Cowboys, knowing that, you know, George Pickens is only there for a good time and not a long time, man. You don't want to grab a receiver with one of them picks. 12 and 20 might put you in a pretty decent spot. Jordan Tyson might be there at 12. Depending on how you feel about him, Carnell Tate might be there at 12. A guy that I really like, man, Denzel Boston. They gonna fool him. He may be there at 20. And you know what I mean? I think he offers some of the things that a guy like George Pickens does as well, being a big body guy that can go up and play above the rim and really kind of impose his will in that way. But yeah, I mean, I am curious to see how that plays out. Now, the money, I think, is because you got to remember when Cowboys paying $60 million a year for Dak. CD just re-upped a couple years ago for like 30 and change. Is he somewhere around like 33 or so? Because I think after him, there's been some signings after him. So now that top number is in the like 40 with Jamar Chase. But I don't know if I'm George Pickens, like what's that market? CD's deal is an older deal now. It's already an older deal. And so I would think that's at least the floor. But at the same time, you're not going to pay the new guy more than you're paying your top guy in CD, right? And so I don't know, man. I don't know if it's realistic for them to get a deal done. And so, yeah, I definitely think he does. I imagine he plays on this 1 year deal. Even if they trade him, like, I don't imagine it'd be a first that came back. You know what I mean? Because whoever trades for him, you know, he's going to want $40 million or as close to that as he can get. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I'm with you. I don't think it happens. But if it did, boy, hey, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. My dog J2 Chill said maybe the Ravens or the Titans could be teams that could be a viable trade partner. I agree with both those selections. Now, I would hate to see them with the Baltimore Ratbirds. I don't need that in my life. All right, I don't need that. But yeah, that definitely makes sense. And I think his game also complements. He's what they don't have, like a dependable, sure-handed guy that can really that could be a go-to guy in the red zone and on critical downs. You know what I mean? Zay Flowers, as talented as he is, he's pretty inconsistent, and you know, we know what the rest of that room looks like. The Titans, they're just trying to build around their young guy, Cam Ward. They need all the help they can get. So I can see that as well. But that's a good comment from my dog, J2 Trill. Let's see. ZB said, get Pickens to Miami. Hey, I'll take it. Now, hold on. I don't know if we want GP down there getting distracted in Miami. That may be risky. But hey, GP to Malik Willis, I'm with it, though, man. I'm with it. And then also, now, feel free to comment or give some thoughts on the chat as well, man. Go ahead and make yourself at home. Get comfortable.
Hey, if there's one thing we know, George Pickens can be prone to distractions. So
yeah, man, he got distracted in Pittsburgh. I know damn well he'll get distracted in Miami. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll see. But now I like the thoughts though. I like the thought process. Let's see. Hey man, it's my dog, man. Shout out to my dog Mike Hardy, man. It's my coworker. You know what I mean? That's my coworker, man. My dog. What's going on? Yeah.
Coworker's in the building, baby.
Yeah, and matter of fact, he's a Louisiana boy, man. He's a Saints fan. Yeah, he hit me up earlier, just a little bit ago. He said he's looking for Caleb Downs to fall to his Saints, or for his Saints to be in a position to grab Caleb Downs at the 8th pick tonight. Let's go. Shout out to my dog. Hey, I appreciate you tapping in, man. Let's go. Hey, you know what's going on. My dog D-Dot in the building, man. Hey, Big Nation business. Come on, man. You see what's going on. You see I got it on. D-Dot. Talk to me, man. What we doing tonight, man? Talk to me. What we doing tonight? Let's see. He said, my dog J2 Trill said, Jerry doesn't want any injured players a la Jordan Tyson. We got to be careful. Y'all drafted Siobhan Ravel last year off of a torn ACL from East Carolina. I think Siobhan Ravel came from. Yeah, so small school guy. I did think he was super talented as well. I liked him, but he was coming off of a torn ACL. You know what I mean? And y'all grabbed him. But see, that's the thing, J2 Trill. I don't know if I think me and Chop, it sounds like we kind of see Jordan Tyson's injuries different. Like some of those injuries, like I think he had a broken collarbone. Like, that's a freak accident. Like, I mean, it just happens. You land wrong on the shot. I think he broke a collarbone with it.
And a hamstring.
Now the hamstring we've been dealing with this year, for sure, and it's been hampering him. But I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I tell you what, I think the Cowboys will be making a mistake if they go anywhere other than defense. That offense wasn't the issue at all last year. They had all of the pieces that they needed. All they needed to do was stop somebody, And I honestly, I think they're in pretty good position to build up a decent defense through this draft. You still bringing back Quentin Williams, alongside what's my guy that was with that came over from the Packers.
Rashawn Gary.
Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark is there, but they also brought over Rashawn Gary. So I think that defensive line is going to shape up to be pretty decent. And then, so I really think that they're going to be looking at getting a corner like Mansour Delane that you mentioned earlier. I think that would be a great pickup for you guys. And then just throughout the draft, continue to build on their defense to where y'all can start competing in this division. Because you got to remember, the Washington is coming back healthy this year. They made a lot of offseason moves. They're going to be healthier this year. Then you still got the Eagles to worry about. That's a tough division. If you're going to really start competing right now, everybody's looking at the Cowboys like they the joke. So they're in position to get some defensive players to help, put them in position to compete this year. So I'm anxious to see what they're going to do too.
No, I'm with you. I definitely think, like you said, defense is definitely the way to go, especially as terrible as that defense has been these last couple years. But at the same time, if George Pickens isn't going to be in the future, you might have to future-proof that, that hole that's going to create. Because we've seen that offense, how overly reliant it gets on CeeDee Lamb when there's nobody else out there. And then, of course, if CeeDee has to go down, like imagine George Pickens not being on that Cowboys team last year and CeeDee still misses like 6 games. Like, man, who are they throwing the ball to? So, you might have to do a little future-proofing for sure, as it's looking like this is just a one-year a 1-year rental, but I'm with you though, man. They got to address that defense for sure. I agree completely. I think Mansour Delane, with that first pick, if he's there, I think that's a move that should be made. Caleb Downs, if he makes it that far, I like as well. So no, I'm definitely with you. Let me see. J2 Trill said if Jordan Love fought at 12, you wouldn't take him. And you know what? I don't know, man. You might have to eat your vegetables. Dallas, y'all might have to eat your vegetables, man. Y'all can't eat cake every time. You can't have cake for every meal. Y'all did just re-sign Javonte Williams, and Javonte Williams had a very solid season for y'all last year. You just gave him a 3-year deal on good money. You know what I mean? I think he only signed for 3 for 24, if I remember right. I want to say he finished with roughly 1,200 rushing yards. I want to say, my dog, you might have to help me out if you remember. I want to say he had roughly 1,200. I know he finished top in the top 7-8 rushers this past season in total yardage. So you got dependable production there. So that Jordan Love is a luxury that with y'all defense looking the way y'all look, like my dog Chop just said, I don't know if y'all can afford to take the luxury of taking a guy, even one as special as Jordan Love. Because scoring points ain't never been a problem for y'all. How many games y'all lose last year scoring more than 30 points? You see what I'm saying? So if Jordan Love helps y'all get from 28 to 35 and you still lose 35 to 38, you know what I'm saying? Then I don't know if that's the way to go.
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh man, hey, and shout out to my dog Chop, man, keeping us on track. Hey, the first pick is in. Fernando Mendoza, you are a Las Vegas Raider, man. Go ahead and give us some thoughts on the pick for Mendoza, man, and what you think about it.
I think it was chalked. I think everybody's been kind of mocking this pick. Like out of all the different mock drafts I saw, all the different ones that I've been able to put together, there's been a lot of different changes, even from the second and third picks, even and now people talking Jeremiah Love possibly going 3, Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, the draft pick trades. Everything has been changing. It's been one thing that has been steady that entire time is that Fernando Mendoza was going number 1 overall to the Las Vegas Raiders, and I think it's the right pick for them. They are in position to where they are trying to build around this franchise guy. They're hoping that Fernando Mendoza can be that for them. And so throughout the rest of this draft, we knew they were going there. They're going to have to build around him. You know, put some pieces in place for him so that he can be successful. So I guess it was a chalk pick. We knew they were going there. He gets to sit behind a veteran. Well, not necessarily sit, but he gets to learn a lot from a veteran in Kirk Cousins. And it gives the Raiders the flexibility to say, hey, either I can go with my young rookie out the gate, or I can play at least a couple of games with Kirk Cousins, because even though he's number 1 overall, don't be surprised if they still kind of slow roll him, because the Raiders are in a position and they don't want to mess this up. They don't want to get him out there too early, get him killed. But they do want to get him out there, get some experience, and get him ready. They're not expected to be contenders this year anyway, so they're gonna take care of Fernando Mendoza. They're gonna treat him like their precious little diamond, and that's where they're over there.
No, and I agree, man. I think this one's been on the board, man, since the national championship game. You know what I mean? And so I think for very early on in the draft process, this has been a 1 QB draft for the bulk of the process. And I know there was some early juice behind Ty Simpson. Then the later we got into this program, all that kind of hype started to kind of subsided, and it became clear that, you know, Fernando Mendoza, it was a 1-horse race. Fernando Mendoza was going to be the guy. And so just like you said, now Tom Brady's came out and said that he's not a fan of rookie quarterbacks starting year 1, or especially right out the gate. I definitely think, man, that unless Kirk Cousins just completely is shot or shelling himself, now he was injured coming off that injury that first year in Atlanta and never got it back. But now a full year removed from that, new surrounding, he knows the end is near. And so I definitely think that maybe we see a resurgent Kirk Cousins. And I think if Tom Brady's sway holds in that organization, then I do think that maybe Kirk's going to be the first guy in that seat. And then it'll just be the waiting game until either Kirk plays bad enough that we can't not play Fernando, or we get late enough into the year where there's no reason not to, you know, put some reps on Fernando towards the second half of this season for sure. But no, I think it's an obvious pick. I guess if you had to grade it, what would you grade it?
I think I would give it an A pick. It's an A
pick.
So
I'll give it an A as well. I mean, like I said, it wasn't that one's pretty straightforward. That was pretty straightforward. Now, this Jets pick, there's been a lot of discussion here. What's your thoughts on this Jets pick?
If I'm the Jets, I'm going David Bailey here. I know there's been a lot of discussion between David Bailey and Arvel Reese. I'm going David Bailey, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. This is a safe space for me to make my bold predictions.
Do you think?
David Bailey is 12 sacks out the gate. I'm just going to put that out there right now. 12 sacks out the gate. I'm talking about the best get off in college football last year. I'm talking about the quick. He's getting at least 6 to 8 sacks off his get off alone, because tackles won't be quick enough to get out their stands to go block him. And then on top of that, he has a lot of the moves that you like to see in a guy his size. He's coming in around like 240 something pounds. So he's faster than all the offensive tackles. He's got a good spin move. He's pretty good with his hands. And man, I think that's automatic. I think you go David Bailey, because he's going to be a difference maker on that defense from the jump. Unlike Arvel Reese. And I'll jump into Arvel Reese in a second, but it looks like you get ready to make an announcement for me. Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say, the pick is officially in for the Jets, and it's David Bailey. It's David Bailey, and I agree as well, man. I think now I am a big fan of Reese as a prospect, because I think, you know, the ceiling is elite, special. David Bailey, I agree with you. I think David Bailey, he's ready to, you know, he's plug and play. You know what I mean? So he's ready out the box. 12 is a high mark, man. 12 is a high mark for sure.
Marky, you know, I'm about all this. I'm with all this. Marky, write it down right now.
Hey, that's a tall order, but I agree, man. I think, and it's not, I'm not gonna say anything new, but you know, Aaron Glenn don't know how much time he got, man. I don't know. Aaron Glenn may not have 3 years to develop Arvel Reese. You know what I mean? And so he's gotta not only show great improvement in year 1, but they've got to win a few ball games. You know what I mean? Like they can't look as abysmal as they did on both sides of the ball this year. And so I think David Bailey, he needs guys that are ready to go right now. And I think, just like you said, David Bailey, man, he's plug and play. He's ready to go right out this second. He's going to be a guy, just like you said. I mean, yeah, he's built and ready to rush the passer. If he don't do anything else, you know what I mean? He's going to get after the quarterback. And so no, I agree with you there. If you go ahead and give me a grade on this David Bailey pick, man, Texas Tech going to the Jets.
I'm going another A, man. I'm going another A. I think this is an A pick. You getting an elite pass rusher, a guy that's a game changer right away. And I know we talk about like Arvel Reese and his ceiling. I still think David Bailey's ceiling is elite as well. You know, he's still going to develop in the league. But I just think the traits that he has, like right away, like right now, are uncoachable. And these are things that's just going to be immediate and going to be proven to work right out the gate. So for me, it's like, okay, why not draft a guy that's going to be great for me right out the gate, but still has more potential to grow? Now, he's not going to be he's not going to hold up as well as maybe say an Arvel Reese against the run, and that's the other thing too. Arvel Reese played a combination of stack and pass rusher. He needs to be developed a lot at pass rusher, and then at stack linebacker, he has some developing to do at that position as well. So, yeah, I'll give it an A, man. I'm giving it an A. That's the pick that I would like to go with as well.
Got you. And then hold on here, I got something for you. But no, I agree. I do think his pass rushing, as great as it is, you might be easing past his run game deficiencies. Because I do think that the run game is going to be an area for him because he's quick, he's explosive, and he's willing and able for sure. But I don't like his strength at the point of attack. Like, so if they're coming right at him, you know, he's got to get a little stronger. He's got like slender athletic legs. You know what I mean? So he's not he can get pushed around if he's the point of attack. But I agree with the bulk of what you said, man. I don't have problems with it. I'll probably say I'm gonna give it a B+. I do think Arvel Reese has the potential, but it's always a potential game. But I do think Arvel Reese's ceiling, if he I guess reaches his potential, for lack of a better word. I mean, there's only a few guys in the league with that combination of size, speed, and strength as well. Because he's explosive like a David Bailey, but he's also a much better run defender, and he does offer that flexibility of being a guy that could be a Pro Bowl stack linebacker for you as well. But the Cardinals on the clock, man. The Cardinals have been a hotbed for potential trades. You think they trade this pick, or you think they end up making it? And if they make it, who you got?
In my opinion, I think they should make this pick because they got a lot of holes. So trading back would make sense, but you're trading back in a draft that doesn't have a lot of high end talent. So at this 3 spot, you can get a blue chip player. So I think you go ahead and get this blue chip player who can be a really huge difference maker on your defense or offense with the latest talks, and you just move from there.
No, I got you. And then my dog, man, Mike Hardy, he said 12 is outstanding as rookie. He said, yeah, that's getting there that rookie sack record, man, from Javon Curse back in the days with the Titans. And yeah, hey man, that's the thing I said, man. I think fantastic 12's heavy, bro. Like that's 12's a lot, but he definitely has some juice off the edge, man, for sure. So that's a high mark my dog said for him for sure. For sure. Shout out to my dog Tom, man. You know how I'm rocking, baby. You know how I'm rocking. Terrible time all day, big dog. Come on with it. Yeah.
I'll let you do that by yourself, Willie Jack.
hey, you know how I ride, man. Come on with it. Yeah, I'm with you. But no, I think I agree. Oh wait, did you tell me who would you if you I know you said you would have them stick and pick because they need bodies. Who'd you say you would choose for them?
Hey, hold on one second. I just tripped off what you said. How you was describing David Bailey and his build and everything. He reminded me of somebody who used to play on our defensive line or used to wear number 4.
hey, no swagless. Hey, Tom was the first David Bailey. Tom was the first David Bailey boy, because David Bailey out there, boy, he out there like it's his first day from. The pick is in. My fault. The pick is in. So no trade. I know there's a lot of talk about Kansas City maybe trading up, especially if a guy like Arvel Reese is available. I think Arvel Reese would be my pick. They definitely need edge help, and then they also need Jeremiah Love. Love. There have been a lot of talk about that, but it didn't make sense to me, man. What's your thoughts on Jeremiah Love going to the Cardinals?
Okay, so let me give you my grade on this one. I think this is a C plus. It's a C plus.
Okay.
I think there's way too many holes in the Cardinals team for them to draft Jeremiah Love at this point. Yes, he's a generation. I think he has generational talent. But there's so many other things that you need on this team that will really help this team or be more beneficial to this team right now than getting Jeremiah out of this spot. Like you said, I would have preferred Arvel Reese, Reuben Bain, one of those guys at this spot, but not a Jeremiah Love. I would have rather see them kind of trade back if I knew they were going to go this route.
No, and I absolutely love the player, man. I think like 3 months ago we were talking, and I told you that Jeremiah Love was the best player in the draft on my board. Like I think just pound for pound, and I try not to I don't want to overgrade the quarterback. No. If I'm talking just talent in the draft, I think he's probably the most individually most talented guy in this draft. So I love the player. I'm with you though, man. Like they still have James Conner. Now James Conner's getting older too, so it probably is time to have a backup plan. But then just 2 years ago, they drafted Trey Benson to come in and be the heir apparent to James Conner, and then honestly, we haven't seen him on the field. And then they just signed Tyler Algier as well, and so that's a heavy room already. And so I'm with you, man. I think C plus is fair. I'm with you. The one thing I would say that's probably maybe goes into the thinking of the Cardinals is that the team is so bad that this is a marathon for them and not a sprint. And so maybe they're looking, in the immediate future, does Jeremiah Love mean we're gonna win more than 5 games this year? Well, maybe not. But I don't know if any player this year was gonna have a great impact on the overall win total because they have so many holes, and so maybe they're just thinking we're going best player available because we need an influx of talent everywhere. And so if that's the thought process, I guess I get it. But I'm with you, man. I think there was still another blue chip guy there in my mind, man, in Arvel Reese, that is that high level return as far as the talent, but then he also fills a couple holes or needs on the team as well. But I'm with you. With you. Sure. Well, now, with that being said, Tennessee being on the clock, this has got to be Arvel Reese. I would have. Oh, wait a minute. No, maybe not. Maybe it's Sonny Styles. Man, you buying the Sonny Style smoke inside the top 5 and going to the Titans here with Robert Saleh?
I do. I look at stacked linebackers a little bit different from everybody else. I know a lot of people feel like you draft them that high, they start looking at the contract. But you're talking about the guy in the middle of that defense that controls everything. He controls the back end, the front end, and that's a very important piece to have on your defense. And you're talking about a guy who is another one of those blue chip guys in this draft. I don't see anything wrong with going for a guy like Sonny Styles. So either Sonny Styles, I can see Sonny Styles going here. I can see Arvel Reese going here. Like either of those guys could be good picks for them at this point, especially since their guy Jeremiah Love is gone. You can go that route, and I think it'll be just fine.
And you know what, man? I don't think we had talked about Styles. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not as high on Styles. Styles in the top 5 for me, man. I don't buy it because he's a fantastic athlete. 6'5", 240, he ran 4.4, low 4.4, 42-inch vertical, all the goods. But he doesn't have he doesn't have the tape. So people keep making the comparison between him and Fred Warner. Like Fred Warner had linebacker skills. You know what I mean? Like when he was a linebacker when he came in, he had those skills. Sonny Styles as a linebacker is being built from the ground up. He was a safety last year, or he was a safety 20 months ago. You know what I mean? He was a big ass safety, but he was a safety 20 months ago. And so he's still learning the position. And so, man, top 5 on the guy we still got to teach the position feels a little tough. And especially, you know, if you draft a linebacker, a stacked linebacker guy, bro, let's think about how many of these guys have went this early. We talk about Patrick Willis, Luke Kuechly, inside linebackers that go in the top 10, like stacked linebackers. Like, you got to be a different type of cat. He's a different type of athlete, but I don't know if he's necessarily – I don't think he's ready to go day one to spend a top 5 pick. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe I'm too harsh on him.
You'll see the Titans pick is in, but that's the other part you're doing too. So many teams are passing, especially in like going against teams now. So many teams are so pass heavy. Having a guy as athletic as him to cover, a lot of these athletic tight ends and things like that. I mean, could be beneficial. But I like any of those guys. I also wouldn't be. Go ahead.
Hey, hold on, man. Hey, now, one of these new members over here, man. You know what I'm saying? They want to see what you're talking about, man. My dog J2 Chill gonna put you on the spot, man. You know what I mean? He said, "Hey, this is a question for my dog." He said, "Question for Chop, man. How many players you got a first round grade on?" Yeah, man. Hey, shout out to my dog J2 Chill. Make sure my dog Chop. I just don't know no better.
He making me get in the bag, huh? He want me to get in the bag.
Oh yeah, man. You know we still talk real ball over here now. You know what's going on. Oh, while my dog Chop is you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that card. Or matter of fact, go ahead and announce that Titans pick, and I'm gonna update the board.
So the Titans, they draft wide receiver out of Ohio State. So the other Ohio State guy that on the opposite side of the ball, they go Cardinal Tate here. So Titans go ahead and draft Cardinal Tate. What's your thoughts on this one, brother?
Man, now you know, man, I wasn't that high on Tate. I think it's a reach, man. I'm not gonna lie. Tate for me, honestly, I think initially when me and you were first talking players like a few months ago, I think Tate at that time for me was like wide receiver 5. I went back, I gave him a second look, and I think I ended up settling with him as wide receiver, as my wide receiver 3. But for me, I felt I got Jordan Tyson, and then I'm gonna have to just down this hill. I got David Boston. David Boston is my guy, man. I got Jordan Tyson, David Boston, and then that's where I settled in on Cardinal Tate. I don't love it, man. I think it's a little rich. I think it's a little rich, but the pick makes sense. They've got to get some style of dependable weapon for Cam Ward. I don't love it, man. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'll give it a B. Like I said, it feels a little rich, but I do understand because he's the guy. I think he probably is one of the more, if not the highest floor of this receiver group where there's a lot of questions. I think he may have the highest floor, but I don't know. I just don't see him developing into a true number 1 option for an offense. Like, I just don't think that's his game. And so if you're not going to be a true number 1 guy, I don't know if I can spend a top 5 pick on you, in my opinion, but.
Yeah.
What's your grade to pick?
I'll go B- on this one. They definitely need somebody that reliable that can work and throw to. I know they brought in a couple of wide receivers last year. DK kind of came on strong towards the end of the year. Io Manor, he was all right throughout the year, but they need somebody who that they're hoping to develop into a wide receiver 1. I'm with you, Willie Jack. I don't see him getting that good, but I mean, you got to give him something. Yeah. So I'm not super low on this trade, but I also think there were other better players or blue chip players that you could have gotten and maybe even traded back to get an extra pick, but then a wide receiver that could also possibly give you similar production that Cardinal Tate is going to give you year 1.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And then, man, that the chat, they hate that Cardinals pick. Hey, they hate that Cardinals pick. I haven't seen any comment at all that's a fan of that Jeremiah Love pick, man. I hope y'all ain't taking it out on Love, man. Love's a stud. But yeah, no, I'm not. We definitely agree. And then also now, You know what I'm saying? Y'all feel free to chime in and let us know what y'all think about these picks as they come in, man. Y'all know what's going on. Talk to us. You know we talk back. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing changed.
Absolutely.
Ain't nothing changed at all. The Giants now being on the pick at top 5, and we didn't get a chance to kind of talk about the big trade news that they had as well, man. So this might be a good opportunity for us to kind of revisit that trade. And of course, we're talking about Dexter Lawrence, one of the defensive stalwarts of that Giants team, being traded to the Cincinnati Bengals for this year's 10th overall pick straight up. What were your thoughts on that trade, man, when you saw the news?
I'm not going to lie. I like the trade for both sides, okay? For the Giants being a young team, still trying to build around Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbull, Malik Neighbors, all of those guys, I think they're a really good position to continue to build on that team. Like their offense kind of came along towards the end of the year. So adding that extra pick, especially 2 picks in the top 10, that gives you a lot of flexibility with what you can do on both sides of the ball. So I really love that for them, and especially with Dexter Lawrence, who don't want to be there. So you get that out. So you're essentially starting fresh in your locker room. For the Bengals, I really like it because you trading your 10th overall pick for what you know, for something you know that you're getting. Okay, you know what you're getting with Dexter Lawrence. He's going to command a double team. Down year or not last year, they're going to need 2 blockers to be on Dexter Lawrence. That defense was atrocious last year. You put him next to Jonathan Allen and Boye Mafe. I really like what they've done so far. So now the Bengals can continue to build on that. So I like it for both sides.
No, and you know what? I do like the move for sure for the Bengals. And shout out to, man, the Creed and album, man. What's going on, man? I don't recognize your name, but I'm gonna tell you right now, big dog, you in the right place at the right time, and you one of the members now, big dog. He said he's a Bengals fan. He's still cheering for the Bengals tonight, even though they don't have their first pick, man, their first round pick. But you here at perfect time as well. Holler at us in the chat, man, and let us know your thoughts on that Dexter Lawrence trade. Would you rather have that 10th pick tonight? You know, what's your thoughts there? But piggybacking off of what you said, man, I really like the move for Cincinnati. And so when I've been trying to game out and do mocks, as I'm sure you have as well, I didn't like the options for Cincinnati at 10, honestly, because I expected all the premium guys. I think they definitely need defense, but I expected, and I still expect, you know, all the big name or blue chip guys to be gone by that time. Like, I don't know if Caleb Downs is going to make it there. I don't know if well, at the time we didn't know if Reuben Bain was going to make it there, or Sonny Styles if he's a premium player for you. You know, we don't know who was actually going to make it there. A lot of those names were expected to be gone as early as, 7, 8. And so if that's the case, I love that pick. I really do. I hate it for my Steelers, Creed and Apple. You know what I mean? I'm a Steelers fan. If you didn't know, yeah. If you didn't know, you feel me? But no, I love the pick for y'all. Just like my dog Chop said, man, they've had that's been a leaky defense now for the last 3-4 years. And as a Bengals fan, Creed and Apple, you probably feel like that defense might owe y'all a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And so a guy like Dexter Lawrence is definitely a guy that can really come in and help to be the grounding force of that defense. And then, like my dog Chop said, man, they definitely got to continue to build some more pieces. But that's an excellent one to get started for sure. What are your thoughts on this Giants pick coming up?
Like I said, I think that it gives them more flexibility here. I think they go defense, though. I think they go defense. Now the question is, like, where do they go? Because at first it was like, all right, they're either gonna go Caleb Downs or Sonny Styles. And thinking about John Harbaugh, he's if you think about his history, he had Ray Lewis, he had Ed Reed. If you think about the modern day, he had his Roquan Smith and he had his Kyle Hamilton. So those are guys that he really, really likes. But now with Arvel Reese falling, that throws a little bit of a wrench in the game, and now he has to come up with a decision on, all right, who's going to be the best player for my team or to add to my team.
Wait. So, and you just hit the nail on the head. Arvel Reese is the pick at 5.
There we go.
Arvel Reese is the pick at 5. And I got to tell you, I love this. And you know what this also tells me as well? I think Arvel Reese is going to play inside for the Giants. And honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, I think he's a damn good stack backer. Like, I think he can be a damn good stack backer. Now, the money's in rushing the passer for sure. And I think he had came out during the combine and said he wanted to, he would prefer to play on the edge. But that edge room in New York is already heavy, man. They got three guys there now. They got Brian Burns. They brought up from the Panthers to sign to a big money contract. They had drafted Kayvon Thibodeau in the first round early, 4 or 5 years ago. And then just last year, they drafted Abdul Carter. And so Arvel Reese coming into that room, well, for one, Kayvon Thibodeau, he probably should have been traded last year. He's definitely out now because you can't afford to keep stunting the growth of Abdul Carter. And now with Arvel Reese coming in, it's got to be to play stack. And I'm sure they'll get creative on that defense and find ways to get him opportunities to rush the passer. But I'm not going to lie, man. I love that. I like Reese. I'm not going to lie, man. Reese put me in the mind of, he put me in the mind of some guys that I enjoy around the league. So I like to pick. What would you grade it?
I would go B+ for this one. B+,
Ooh, really?
because of some of the things that you said. So you still, like, with this pick, yes, he's probably a plug and play, but you still got to make moves around it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still have to make a move with like you said, Kayvon Thibodeau, because you're definitely gonna keep Brian Burns and Abdul. So you're gonna do that. But I think that one of those other two guys could have been a better fit for where this team is now. I'm not so sure I trust Arvel Reese's coverage skills as a stack linebacker. That's the one thing that I was concerned about with him with playing the stack linebacker. So that's where I'm at with that. But I give it a B+. I still think it's a good trade, and you're still getting a blue chip caliber player with a very, very, very high ceiling.
Well, don't forget though, why we don't put him in coverage? Send his ass after the quarterback. If it's 3rd and 6, I don't want him in coverage. I want him pinning his ears back. Now we just got to rush him we just got to blitz him through the B gap instead of letting him tee off on the edge. But no, I do get what you're saying though, for sure. I do. I like it, man, because it makes me think about Harbaugh and that Ravens defense. You got to remember, they good call. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let you take us to it. That Ravens defense with Mike McDonald leaving and going to Seattle and bringing it out there. But the thing about that defense is where they have multiple guys interchangeable doing multiple different things for the defense. And so I think Arvel Reese can be that style of chess piece in this version that Harbaugh's going to bring to New York. But no, I'll give it an A. I think Arvel Reese for me is a top 3 player in the draft. I like his floor because if nothing else, I think he's a Pro Bowl caliber linebacker if he's going to be a stack. But then his ceiling, what he could do is potentially morphing into a Micah Parsons-esque style of difference maker. I really like the upside there, man. And if you're picking inside the top 5, I think you got to swing bigs. I'll give it an A. But go ahead, take us through this trade, man. That just happened.
Yeah. So the Chiefs just moved up to this 6th spot to draft right after the Giants. They moved up to where the Browns were originally here. So the Browns moved back to the 9th spot where the Chiefs were. Chiefs move up. And then I'm looking at I'm trying to see if I can get the rest of the details of this trade. But
yeah,
it looks like they receive a couple other the Browns receive a couple more picks as well. I think it's the pick 74 and then another pick after that later on. I'll try to get the details for everybody.
Okay, for sure.
But the Chiefs are up on the clock right now. And of course it shows the pick is in, so we'll see who they draft here.
Okay, now call it now real quick before who they move up and come get. Who do you think?
I think they come up and get a Caleb Downs. I think they come up and get Caleb Downs. They lost a few defensive backs through trades and throughout this offseason. So they have to replace some of those guys in this draft. I know we were talking about the cornerbacks, and I think Chiefs were a prime suspect to get one of those cornerbacks. But moving up, I think they probably feel like Caleb Downs is their guy, and they probably could have waited on Mansour Delane if they wanted him there.
No, I feel you. I think Mansour was probably going to be there at 9, and I agree. I think it's 2 players, man. It's either Caleb Downs or Jordan Tyson, man. I think my dog Mike Hardy hit it as well. He asked if Casey's going receiver. I don't hate that for him at all, man. I don't love Xavier Worthy. I didn't love him as a prospect. Besides running fast, I didn't love him as a prospect coming in. Rashee Rice is talented, but are we really going to depend on Rashee Rice to be here week after week or not get himself caught up in the offseason? So I do think they definitely need a more reliable or dependable weapon outside. And so if that's the case, there's only two names there. I agree with everything else you said as far as Caleb Downs. If you're moving up, going to get a blue chip guy, they traded two starters from their secondary, went to your team, the Rams. And so there's a big hole there. I'm with you, man. I think it's either Caleb Downs or Jordan Tyson, maybe as a dark horse here. That pick is in, though. Mansour Delane. You just mentioned him, but we didn't. I was with you. I didn't think they would have had to move up to get Mansour Delane. They jumped the Commanders. The Commanders were there at 7, so they jumped Washington to make sure they get him. Is how I have to read this. What's your thoughts on the pick?
Yeah, this is a very, very surprising. I didn't think they would have to jump up to get him as well, but I'm guessing if you're a team or you're one of these, you're one of these teams, and you feel like your guy is going to get picked by somebody else, you got to do what you can to solidify. And corner was a must-have in this draft for the Chiefs. Now they get one of the best in college football, so hey, you go get your guy. But I get this one a B+ here because I feel like they could have gotten him at that spot.
No, and I'll tell you, and I'm the same. And you know what? I think they definitely had the obvious need. Like I said, they sent two starting corners to LA. So they definitely had the need. I'm with you though, man. I didn't necessarily think Mansour was gonna be a guy you had to make this style of move to go get, but the player meets the need. Trading up capital to get him, I think knocks my grade on it because I just didn't imagine that. I didn't necessarily see him as a guy that you would move up, need to move into damn near the top 5 to get. But I do like the player. He put me in the mind of Denzel Ward, man. And I love me some Denzel Ward. He put me in the mind of Denzel Ward, man. I love his feet. I think he's got the best feet. I think he's got the best feet to draft. I love his feet. I love his hips. You know what I mean? Like the way he moves and transitions. I love all that. I do think I don't necessarily think he's as overall explosive an athlete as Denzel Ward is on the whole. Like I don't think he has the same, maybe doesn't have that same long speed quite, but his eyes and off coverage, and I'm looking at some B-roll on him now, just on the telecast, but nah, man, he's got fantastic feet and hips. I know you appreciate that. My dog Chop was a former corner, man, if y'all didn't know. Me and my dog Chop, we played ball together in the day, man. He was one of my corners, man. And so now I love watching his feet and his hips. I really like his eyes and off his own coverage as well. I like the player. Did you grade it for me? I'm sorry. Would you grade it?
Yeah, I gave this one a B+ because it's
B+. There you go.
It's a must need for them for sure.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'll give it
I like that grade. I think because of the trade, I'll give it a B+. If they get him at 9, I feel like that's an A pick.
Absolutely.
Trade because it looks like you said it was a pick 74 and 148. So they move up 3 spots. They gave Cleveland a 3rd and 148. Is that a 5th? Is that a 3rd and a 5th to move up 3 spots?
I believe so. Yep.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, right? So, not terrible because what are you going to do? I'm sure I'd rather have Mansour Delane than that 3rd and 5th round pick, regardless of who's coming in, right? So I get that, but yeah, I think B+ is a fair grade. And then my dog Mike Hardy, man, he said he's all about it. He said Mansour Delane, he's a Louisiana boy, man, so he would have liked him in New Orleans as well. But he said he's got his fingers crossed for Caleb Downs getting there to him. Now, right now, Mike, Washington being on the clock, I think their target is I think there's 3 names here in play for Washington. Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, and then also Jordan Tyson. I think Washington is desperate for a receiver. They should be if they not. And so I think those are the 3 names. Man, what do you think about this Washington Commanders pick coming up?
I agree. I think those are the 3 names there, especially with Scary Terry, their number 1 receiver. He's 30 this year. You know what I'm saying? So they need a guy on the outside that can help out Jaden Daniels, who's still, this is only year 3 for him coming up. So you need to help him. So I think Jordan Tyson could be good, but I think they're going Sonny Styles here, which also is a really good pick. And yeah, you want to take it away on this pick, Willie Jack?
I was just about to tell you to go ahead and lead it. Yeah, I was just yeah. Yeah, so Sonny Styles is the pick, man. But yeah, you was just mentioning his name, so I was like, yeah, go ahead, take it. But you had just mentioned, man. Go ahead, give me. I know you was it sounds like you're higher on Sonny Styles than I am as well. But yeah, go ahead and break down, man. Let me know what you think about it.
Yeah, so I think this is a must have. You know, having Bobby Wagner over the last couple of years, I think they're looking for somebody that can come in the middle of their defense and make a difference. And like I said, I look at linebackers a little bit different, especially stack linebackers or the middle linebacker who's going to be the quarterback of their defense. They control so much, and you want somebody that's going to be able to lead that defense and make sure everybody's in the right positions and doing the right things. And I think he's capable of that, along with his just overall athletic ability to be able to get sideline to sideline, make the tackles that he needs, and just be the new leader for this defense for years to come. I love the pick. You got Jaden Daniels as the clear-cut leader on that offense, and then you got Sonny Styles, who's going to be a leader of this defense for the next 12 to 15 years if he decides to play that long. So I really love this pick for those guys.
And you know what, man? I do see the pick. They definitely need the help. Now, they just brought over a guy that I've been a huge fan of, man. And shout out to our dog, Miles, man. I've been a huge Leo Chenal fan, man. The outside linebacker, Sam linebacker from the Chiefs. I love some Leo Chenal. They signed Leo Chenal in the offseason. Now, he is a guy, he's played more Sam than Mike. And Sonny, I think, has been playing Mike for Ohio State. And so I think they do still have room for him there. And so if you're a believer in Sonny Styles, in him developing the game to match that athleticism, then I'm with you. That's a fantastic pick for sure. I'm just not sure. Like I said, I just don't know how high it's the realistically. I don't know how much, like, I just don't know how dominant he develops into this late as a middle linebacker. Athletically, you know who he put me in the mind of? Like his size and building athleticism. Remember when Tremaine Edmonds was coming out from Virginia Tech? He put me in the mind of Tremaine Edmonds. It's who he put me in the mind of. I keep seeing people keep making that Fred Warner comparison, but I don't see that. But no, I think Tremaine Edmonds, man, with just his size and athleticism profile is who he put in the mind of. But now, my dog J2 Trill made a good point that we didn't maybe think about. Kansas City maybe had to make sure that they had to pay a little bit to stop Dallas from maybe making that same trade and getting Delane, because we know Dallas has that big need at corners. That's a good call out for my dog J2 Trill. That's a good call out for my dog J2 Trill for sure.
Yeah, they definitely could have made the trade. I'll say this, Willie, are you good if I go ahead and make my bold predictions on here, man? I'm coming on your show. Coming on your show.
Get comfortable. Yeah.
Listen, I'm coming on your show. I'm about to go out with a bang. I'm making all my bold predictions. Also, J2 Trill, I ain't forgot about that. I got my number in my head too. I'm gonna come back to you and let you know how many first round grades I got. But I got Washington coming out of this division, man. I got Washington coming out of this division. I'm watching and I'm seeing all the moves they've been making. They're going to be healthy this upcoming year, man. I'm going to call it right now. Washington is coming out of this division. I know everybody like the Eagles. They've been used to seeing the Eagles. That's all fine and dandy. They're going to have, if they get rid of A.J. Brown, like this talking about him going to the Patriots, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
The rest of them divisions going to be in trouble. If the Cowboys don't do something in this offseason to fix their defense, I'm telling you. So Washington is going to be the team to come out this division. You heard it here first. It's your boy, Charlie.
Hey, we definitely going to circle back to that. I want to catch up on a couple of these comments, man. My dog, Mike Hardy, said Delane's quiet, man. That LSU secondary was terrible. Delane came in for 1 year and really was really dominant. And I agree, man. He definitely made himself a lot of money this year at LSU. And honestly, he was a much better player at LSU than he was the year before at, I think, Virginia Tech. I went back and looked at a little bit of his Virginia Tech, and he was definitely a much better player for LSU for sure. Now, Mike, man, y'all on the clock. My dog Mike Hardy, he's a Louisiana boy. He's a Saint. He's a huge Saints fan. He's been pulling for Caleb Downs. It's about to be the moment of truth, man. So we'll see what they do. I think the pick is going to be Caleb Downs or Jordan Tyson. I think that Saints offense, man, they got to have another weapon. Olave is a very good 1B. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean? Like he's another one of those guys that I don't feel comfortable with him being the lead dog that we feed or build the offense around. And I think a guy like Jordan Tyson could serve as his Garrett Wilson at Ohio State, where Garrett Wilson at Ohio State was the guy they could use to be the, I guess, like the break starter for the offense. You know what I mean? And then Olave being that, he being that Clay to a Steph. I think that's what he's more suited for. Similar to how I see Carnell Tate. I think Carnell Tate, he's a great player, but he's not a Steph. He's a Clay. And you know what I mean? So I think I feel similar about Olave. And so I think Jordan Tyson would be a good fit there if you're comfortable with the injuries. But Caleb Downs would be a fantastic pick as well. And then, matter of fact, shout out to Calvin Coolidge History, man. He said Caleb Downs coming soon. You must be maybe a Saints fan as well. Also hoping for Caleb Downs to be the pick here at 8. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see. Did you grade that Sonny Style pick? I assume it's an A. I know you're a big fan. Did you?
I got this one as an A, man. It's a great fit. It's a great fit. So I got that pick as an A.
Bet for sure. And yeah, I don't hate the, like I said, I wasn't as high on him as a player, but no, I still understand it, and especially with the board. Maybe you don't want to risk the injury history of Jordan Tyson, especially with a quarterback that's already got a little bit of an injury history himself this early in his career. So you maybe don't want to, have two guys that you have to rely on be at risk for being out the lineup. So I could see that. I think if Carnell Tate was here, Washington for me was where Carnell Tate maybe should have went that would have been where I started his range. And so with Tate being gone, maybe not want to risk it on Jordan Tyson. I think I agree with the things you're saying, though, man. It makes sense for them to go Sonny Styles. Yeah, I'll ride with you, man.
It's all good, Billy Jack. It's all good, brother.
I gotta give it a B plus. I don't know if I can call it an A. I don't know if I can call it. I don't think he plays linebacker great. It's a different level of physicality. Now he might develop it too. He's got the body. He's 6'6", 245. But man, he gets paws put on now with them old linemen. You know what I'm saying? In them trenches, man, it gets a little sticky. When he's able to be kept free and run and use that speed and athleticism and length, especially in passing lanes and things like that, for sure. But don't forget now, you got to keep the main thing the main thing. You're gonna be playing middle linebacker. I need to know you can bang with the big boys, and that's where he worries me. And so I'll go B plus, man. I'll go B plus. But
Woody Jack, if you don't mind, man, I want to go back to a question that was asked. I don't want to leave him hanging with Mr. J2 Trio. He asked how many first round grades I had. I went back and looked and looked at all my guys, and I think I got 24 legit first round grades on in this draft. I got 24 guys that's legit first rounders. I think the rest are borderline, maybe could be first, could be second round guys. But yeah, I got 24 legit first round guys. That's what I got, man.
And you know what, man? See, that's a little high for me.
That's high. You don't have a little high.
Well, you know what? I guess the way, because I'm thinking of it not like bigger than just this draft. Like, how would I feel about these guys? Because I think there's a lot of guys whose values are a little inflated this year because it is kind of a down year as far as overall talent depth in the draft. And so, like, Fernando Mendoza was the clear-cut number one this year. I don't know if he was where does he get drafted in last year's class, 2 years ago's class? You know what I mean? So, like, just little things like that. I don't know, though. I'm gonna circle back to that. But 24, okay. You know what?
But you only got this class to compare it to. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you have to classify them as first round guys in their class. You know what I'm saying?
I got you on. That Saints pick is in, and it is Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson comes off the board to the Saints at 8, man.
I was hoping he fell to your boys.
Yeah, man. No, I think I love this pick, right? And so I think I was just talking about it a moment ago. I love it. This is an A for me. This is my wide receiver one. I think my dog Chop said it's his wide receiver one as well. And just like I said, they've got a Klay Thompson. They need a Steph Curry. He's a guy. He's a Steph. He's a guy that he's the guy we draw the play up for. You know what I mean? When we come out the timeout. You know what I mean? It's 12 seconds left. He's the guy we want coming off the screen. You see what I'm saying? I think he's that type of player. And like I said, I like the compliment of him and Olave. It really does put me in the mind of like, I think he can function as what we saw Garrett Wilson in Ohio State, like the role he had when him and Olave played together with CJ Stroud. I think Jordan Tyson fills that role, and now Olave gets to settle in and be that high quality second option that I think he's been best suited for. But no, I love it, man. I love it. This is an A pick for me. What you think?
Yeah, I think this is a good pick for them. I definitely go A for them as well. I was thinking about Caleb Downs, and I was like, no, with how their season ended, I think they definitely need somebody else, especially since getting rid of Rashid Shaheed. Like there was a really big void that was left as that number 2 wide receiver, or just another wide receiver on that particular offense once he left. So now having Chris Olave and then adding Jordan Tyson with him, I think they'll make a really good combination for years to come. And we'll see if Tyler Shuck turns into, what he was showing towards the end of the season, then we could be looking at a pretty good wide receiver room here. And especially after adding Travis Etienne, we could be looking at a decent offense, a totally different offense from the start of it, at the start of this year.
No, for sure. And matter of fact, man, my dog J2 Trill, he said he had 19 first round grades himself. And you know what? I'm gonna go through and I didn't notate it, but I got like a little mini big board here, and so I'm gonna go through and kind of get a tally myself and see what I think. But no, my dog, man, Mike Hardy, man. How you feeling? I know my dog Mike. I know he wanted Caleb Downs for that defense, but man, hey, Jordan Tyson, I think is a stud, man. I really think Jordan Tyson is going to be a stud. And just like my dog Chop said, they got something cooking there now. I wasn't a believer in Tyler Shuck this time last year when that pick was made. I wasn't on board, but man, he showed something, man. I had to respect it. You know what I mean? And I thought they even gave Spencer Rattler the short end of the stick a little bit. You know what I mean? I think they pulled the plug on him a little quick because I thought he gave him a nice little spark. But no, Tyler Shuck, he earned my respect, man. And so I'm with you. I think it's time to continue building around him. Him and Olave can develop into a nice 1-2 punch with a young Shuck, Travis Etienne coming over, just like you said, from the Jaguars. And so, they're cooking now a little bit on this with the Saints offense. Last year they went offensive line. The last couple years they went offensive line. They got 2 bookend tackles. Talisi Fuaga 2 years ago. Then last year Kelvin Banks from Texas to get bookend tackles. You get the quarterback, and then now you refilled the running back and receiver rooms. Like I like it. I like it.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see what this will look like. And the Bucks, who won a division last year. No, not the Bucks. I'm sorry, the Panthers, who won a division.
No, yeah, you're right. The Panthers, yeah, you're right.
They didn't win a division. I know the Bucks were the favorite. Now with them losing Mike Evans, I know they drafted Egbuka, who looked pretty good last season. Yeah. But they kind of fell off towards the end of the season,
they
last
definitely
year. Did. So the Saints are moving in the right direction, and we've yet to see what the Bucks are going to look like this upcoming year.
No, it's a good call out, man. And then that NFC South is one of those divisions where it feels like they just draw names out of the hat every year. Is that, if I'm not mistaken, in the NFC, the division where like there hasn't been back-to-back division winners, or like every year it's like or maybe it's the wrong division. Who am I thinking of? I was gonna say it's one of those divisions where year over year it's a complete crapshoot about who's gonna come out on top. And so, I think it is the NFC South. But no, I'm with you, man. I think that division is wide open. The Bucks have definitely taken a step back, like you were saying. Injuries were a lot to play in that. Baker and the team around him, and then even Baker toward the second half of that year, man, he took a step back, and so now it's a young group there with Mike Evans. The Cleveland Browns pick is in, man. Spencer Fanu, tackle from Utah, going to Cleveland at 9. I like this. Spencer Fanu for me was my tackle 1. I don't know how you felt about him. I had him at tackle 1. Did you excuse
Yeah,
me, I don't know
yeah.
if you got
So
into him at all, but I had him at tackle 1. And in my mock prediction, I had Cleveland taking Spencer Fanu at 6. And so them trading back, getting 2 picks, and then still getting that guy at 9, that's fantastic. That's fantastic drafting, in my opinion. That's fantastic drafting. What are your thoughts on this pick?
I do like Spencer Fano. He wasn't my top graded tackle. I actually had him at see that's the other thing too, because we're still it's Francis
Maui Noah.
Maui Noah. Is he going to be a tackle or is he going to be a guard?
Yeah.
So still trying to figure that out. But depending on what you rank him as, Spencer was my number 3 tackle. I did like him though, but I actually liked it with 2 other guys as well. I do like Monroe Freeling too. Both of those guys.
I did too, really like. When the talk about him going, because there was talk that he was going to go 6 to Cleveland, and then before I really got into him, so I went into it expecting to vindicate myself for him being just hype, but then when I watched him, I was like, hey, I see it. Like I can't lie, man. I see it. Like I definitely did. I think I like Fanu here. Cleveland with that offensive line, they've been doing everything they can to rebuild it in the offseason. They brought over Titus Howard from my dog, Terrible Times, Houston Texans. I want to say they made 2 other additions to that line, but left tackle was the gaping hole. Now Spencer Fanu played right tackle at Utah, but I think he's athletic enough, and I think he had time at left tackle that I expect him to be the starter there. But then speaking of the devil, man, speaking of Francis Manoa that you just mentioned, the Giants select him with the 10th overall selection. Yeah. The Giants select him with that 10th pick, that pick that they got in return for trading Dexter Lawrence. What's your thoughts there?
Yeah, I like both of these picks. And as soon as the Giants made that, and I'll talk Giants first, and then I'll go right back to the Browns.
Yeah.
But as soon as the Giants made that trade and get rid of Dexter Lawrence and adding that 10th overall pick, from that point on, it was like, okay, one of these picks, they're going to go defense, which is most likely going to be the first pick, because defensive side of the ball was more of your top guys or more your blue chip players. And then that second pick in that first round, that top 10, they can go offensive line to help build around Jackson Dart and that offense. So I like this pick. I think the Giants are moving. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a grade here on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and go B+ on this one. I'll go B+ on this pick. I really like this pick. I think it's a good pick for the Giants to add a guy like this on their offense. And then going back to the Browns, I agree with everything you said. I do like that with that trade, they go get a tackle, especially with the offensive lineman that left the room this offseason. They can kind of rebuild it and try to put something in place for whoever's going to be their starting quarterback this year.
No, I'm with you, man. And then also, man, Maui Noah in my mock, I'm not gonna lie, man. I had Jeremiah Love at 5 in my mock, and then I had Maui Noah at 10. Is how I like, man. I love the thought of Jeremiah Love to the Giants. I think I told you that like 4 months ago when we talked about Jeremiah Love. I was like, So I really did, man. I wanted to see that, but no, Maui Noah here I think does make sense. That Giants offensive line, man, ever since they struck out on Evan Neal in the first round, 4 years ago, drafted him to be the right tackle to bookend with Andrew Thomas. He fell on his face. They've tried to move him inside the guard. And so they still have a hole there at guard between Evan Neal and John Runyon Jr. Guard is weak. For me, I think Maui Noah is a guard. And I'm glad you brought that up because that was my thoughts. I didn't like him as much at tackle. I think he probably could be a decent tackle. I think he'd probably be a better guard. And I think for the Giants, I expect him to come in and start at guard right away. Because like we said, they've got obvious holes at guard. And then I do expect that maybe here in another year or two, maybe they move him out to right tackle. They got Jermaine and Luminor at the starting right tackle. But I want to see he's on the wrong side of 30. And I think they just brought him back on a short-term deal, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe he signed for like a 2-year, some style of relatively short-term deal. So they might know he comes in, he probably starts on the interior, and then when you make a decision after this year on Illuminor at right tackle, you might be able to rotate, push him out there, or unless you feel like he found a home on the inside. But no, I do like the pick. I'll I'll go A on the pick. I like the pick. I do. I like the pick. And especially with Harbaugh, man, you know, that old Ravens in him coming out. He wants those big physical, you know, he wants like big, powerful offensive line, a big, powerful offensive line as well. So, my dog J2 Trill, he been talking about his Cowboys.
And they moved up.
They moved up. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I got the details on the screen, man. The Cowboys move up one spot with the Dolphins from 11 to 12. They send the Dolphins picks 177 and 180. I'll take that all day long. That's free. That's free. That's lunch. That's free lunch. 177 and 180. Go do it. And especially to go get Caleb Downs, which I can't imagine it's anybody else. But no, I like the move for the Cowboys, man. Looking at that compensation, what's your thoughts on the trade?
I think it's a great trade, and I'm agreeing with you. I think you sprinting to the podium to go get Caleb Downs right now.
Oh yeah,
you sprinting because it's a must need. That defense, as we said before the show, must be addressed this year. And the guy that's sitting right there ready for you is Caleb Downs. I'm gonna throw this at you too, though. I know a lot of people have been down because of injury on Jemima McCoy. I would not hate it if they drafted Jemima McCoy here. They really need a corner. I think they might need a corner more than they need a safety. And adding a guy like Jemima McCoy could be another piece to this defense that they really need, especially after losing Trayvon Diggs last year to the Packers. I think that could be a move not to necessarily sleep on, because that's a position that they need too.
Now, one thing I will say, man, is now I love McCoy. I think McCoy on the tape was my corner one, but the injury though, man, like he had there was bad news bad news for him that came out over the course of this last week or so. If you've been seeing that, where there's speculation that there was always speculation that there was a deeper issue with his knee. A deeper issue with his knee because he injured it early last year, and then he missed all this year and still wasn't able to perform or to actually test at the combine. And then even, I believe, at the pro day he had, it was a very limited pro day, but then people were saying that even the knee is still an issue. He wasn't necessarily maybe moving as well as you would have liked, and so that knee's still another issue. And then on the medical rechecks, there's talk that he may need an additional surgery on that knee before he's going to be ready. And so, man, with him likely needing another surgery, I don't know if you could take him this high. Barring the injury, I don't think he gets out of the top 10. I think barring the injury, I could have seen Kansas City moving up to 6 to go get him. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's that talented. I think he's a true blue. Like, I think he could be a real he's got real lockdown corner ability. You know what I mean? Like, he's a guy that you could put him in somebody's back pocket. You know what I mean? Just his game plan is follow the number one. And then we'll worry about the other 10 guys or worry about something else. I think that's the style of player he looked to be just early on at Tennessee. And he was a freshman? I think true sophomore. And so I'm with you on the ability, but I think the injury is gonna make that just too rich. I think the injury's gonna make, especially if he really needs another surgery, then I don't know if you can do that knowing he's gonna maybe miss his rookie year.
And that makes sense, so I definitely understand that. But one of the first people
for sure.
Yeah, one of the first people I think about is Derek Stingley. You know what I mean? Coming out in the draft, coming off of his injury, and eventually becoming a shutdown player. And I mean, you still get him at the shutdown level at the age of 24. So you still got a bunch of years with him being that type of corner, and that's the type of skill set that I see Jemima McCoy having. So.
Now that's a fair comparison. That's a fair point to make. We did just see that from Stingley coming out of LSU, where he took that year off as well. We did see that. There we go, because it's official, or at least it's finally official on my screen. Caleb Downs pick. I think we all anticipated it, but now it's official. And honestly, this is an A+ pick for me. I think Caleb Downs for me was he was a top 3 player in the draft. For me, honestly. And I also, safeties just don't go top 10. Derwin James didn't go top 10. Minka Fitzpatrick didn't go top 10.
Didn't go top 10.
you know what I mean? So I didn't expect him to go top 10. And I had mocked him to the Cowboys as well, assuming he made it. And so the fit, I think makes sense. I think that defense, like we were talking about, bro, that defense is in such bad shape. They need a culture changer. I think that's what he is. He's a culture changer. He's a culture shifter. And he's a guy that I think can cover up a lot of those deficiencies I think they have in that defense. I do think his game is more he is more so big nickel than deep post safety, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But for that Cowboys team, they need somebody they need everything he's going to give. He's going to come in and immediately, I think, be the leader of that defense. I don't know, like, who would be the leader of that defense since Micah left? Like who? Like, you know what I mean? They've got Quentin Williams just got there. Kenny Clark just got there. Rashawn Gary just got there. The linebackers are trash. The corners are young and are not very good. And the safeties are, they not great. So I think he's going to be a rookie captain on that defense. You know what I mean? Like, I love this pick. It's an A+ pick for me. It's an A+ pick.
Yeah.
What you grade it?
This is an A pick for me too. And I think you're spot on with this being a culture changer, because it's just certain players that come into the door or walk into the room and immediately make everyone better. And he's one of those guys. He will make everyone better on their defense. On top of that, you already hear a lot of the talks that, like, he's the smartest guy on the field when he's out there. You know, so he knows. You know, you see a lot of those videos where the defensive guy knows what play the offense is going to run. He's going to develop into one of those guys where, all right, I know what this offense is running. I know, what they're looking to do. I know this is a screen coming. So that ultimately puts him in position to say, hey, you go here, you go there. Let's do this. Let's do that. He's going to make the players that would be considered role players look a lot better next to him. You know how, like, this might be controversial here, but I'm gonna see it anyway. You know how Klay Thompson, probably on a team by himself, probably looks just like a role player. Next to Steph Curry, Klay Thompson is different.
Oh, he's right. Yeah. Okay.
Next to him, he's good. So Caleb Downs is going to end up being. You used a Steph Curry reference earlier. Yeah. Caleb Downs is going to be that Steph Curry, and he's going to turn a guy like a Deron Bland and things like that. Ooh. He's going to make those guys look a lot better next to him on the defense.
Oh yeah, no, that's a fantastic point. Just like you said, he's going to raise. He's that high tide that's going to raise all the boats around him. You know what I mean? So I'm with you. My dog J2 Chill, man, said Jermichael McCoy could fall to 20. I don't think it's unrealistic with the injury, but the thing is like, well, what's y'all risk? What's y'all appetite for risk? Because Siobhan Revelle, y'all brought in last year, he came in off a knee, then he got a slow start off his knee, but he was already in rehab. Like, Jermichael McCoy, the talk is that he's gonna have to have like a new, fresh surgery. You know what I mean? And then also the issue with his knee, it may be one of those things, because I don't know the details and I don't want to speculate, but I wonder if it's one of those things where, like Ty Gurley, where Ty Gurley's knee was just a time bomb, for your Rams. Like, it was just nothing you could do about it. Like, his knee only had so much time on it. Yeah, is it still fresh? And every time Kyron Williams fumble, I know you be sitting there thinking like, Ty would never.
Not in a million years.
Yeah. See. No, I'm with you. But no, man. Hey, but I'm not gonna lie, man. If, like my dog Chop said, if you want to be patient and sit on them for, if you want to be patient and wait to have a guy who could maybe be a top 3-4 corner in the league in 2028, then if you're playing the long game, then I don't have any problem with it. But see, with a team like Dallas, I think Dallas is they're in a win now mode. Just like my dog J2 Trill said, Jerry ain't getting no younger. You know what I mean? And so he's not sitting around waiting. They paying Super Bowl quarterback money to Dak at $60 million. So I think they need live bodies that can come in right now, man, and they've got to try to make a move. Let me see. Oh, that Dolphins pick is in. You see it?
Mm-hmm. I see the pick.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, take it to us, man. I'm gonna put it on the board.
Yeah. You got it. So the Dolphins come in and they take offensive tackle Caden Proctor out of Alabama. to come in and help protect Malik Willis, man. And I'm I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go B minus on this one. Okay, B minus on this particular pick, and the reason why is because one, I wasn't too high on Caden Proctor. I didn't think he was that special of an offensive tackle. He wasn't in my top three in terms of offensive tackles. I actually had him a little bit lower outside of my top five. If you want me to be honest, I had him
Okay.
outside of my top five of tackles. He was real inconsistent. He was big though. He's huge. He's a
Yeah.
huge offensive tackle. 6'6", 350 pounds, and he's
Mhm.
athletic for his size. So he has a higher ceiling, but his inconsistencies and what he shows on tape, it could prevent or it could cause a lot of problems with this particular offense. The other reason I'm not too high on this trade is because I
Well,
don't
on the
think this
trade?
Miami. I mean, not the trade. This pick. The
Oh,
other
okay,
reason
gotcha.
I'm
Okay.
not too high on this pick is because I think that Miami has done nothing to give Malik Willis some guys to throw to this offseason. And I think if they are truly trying to give him a chance to see what he can do, you got to give him somebody to throw to. Now, you got to have him protection as well, and protection usually comes first. But I think you got to give him somebody to throw to. And I'm not too high on this pick.
No, and I wasn't as high on Caden Proctor as well. Similar to what you said, he was super big for sure, and he can be like a he's a very good straight line athlete because like they was giving him carries and backfield and throwing him pitches and crazy things like that. And in the open field, like I see, like he can pick him up and put him down a little bit. Like I've seen him running the block down field and he can move, but it's the short area though. And so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's going to stay at tackle because that short area is what gets him. Like who, man, one of these little kind of smaller speed rushers gave him hell, man. I'm trying to think what which game that was I was watching. But one of these kind of smaller, shifty guys or quicker guys, he just can't get out the blocks. You know what I mean? Like he just can't get out the blocks. So I think he may end up being better suited inside. I did. I do think the pick for that O line, I think the O line makes sense because I think it's kind of like you were saying, you do need the weapons for Malik Willis. But I think they're building that team almost from scratch. And if you're going to be starting from the ground up, then I think you always start inside out. And so I think like solidifying that offensive line also needs to be reworked because it was more so, it was that what's your boy name? Mike McDaniels. You know what I mean? So they had it was a different style of line as well. Undersized guys that are movement based. Jeff Hafley coming over from Green Bay, he's going to be bringing in a different system for sure. And he's a defensive guy. So I imagine that he's going to, like, he may not, the bodies they got there, I don't know if they're going to be able to do what he may want to do. This may trigger a signal that maybe they're going to focus more on like some style of power scheme as opposed to like that fast break kind of spread style or that fast break system that we saw from Mike McDaniel. But now I'm with you, man. I think the high end potential is there because he's a special. There's not many guys walking around that size and that can move the way he does. But I don't know, man. There was a lot there that just gave me pause, and so I'm with you, man. It feels a little rich. If Maui Noah got past 10, I had him going to Miami at 11. I didn't see him getting past this mark. I do think they need help in that offensive line because they've got outside of that center, Aaron Brewer, who was a stud, and then I believe is it the left tackle? Nah, who's that left tackle? The left tackle they got from Houston, University of Houston, a couple years ago, Paul. He's a solid piece. The other three pieces on that line are just guys. Like they do need some bodies there, but I'm with you. I don't know. Proctor didn't necessarily, I didn't have him rated as highly, much like yourself, but
He didn't tickle your fancy, huh?
I almost said it. I stopped myself, dog. I almost said it. I stopped. I heard time in my head right before I said it. I sure was about to say it. But hey, ZB, you want to know, man, your Rams on the clock now. What y'all doing?
You see it lined up
Wait,
perfect
what's the board look like? First, hold on. Let me see. What's the What's the board look
With
like?
the same thing we talked about earlier, man. And he's sitting right there. The guy that I don't necessarily want, I think
Oh, yeah. McCollum.
they're sitting right there. But you want to know something? I tell you
Yeah.
who I would prefer, honestly,
Okay.
over McCollum. Omar Cooper. I like
Really?
Omar Cooper. I would prefer to have him on our team in this particular spot over Makai Lemon. When I watch
Really?
Omar Cooper, he gives me. Do you remember when we watched? I'm gonna say this. Do you remember when we watched Jackson Smith and Jigba film out of
Oh
Ohio
yeah.
State?
Oh yeah.
It wasn't the flashiest. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was doing like the craziest things, but he would have those certain wide receiver skills that would help him get open. It was the Reggie Wayne style of skill that I
Mm.
saw of him in college. Now, when he got
Mm.
into the pros, Jackson Smith and Jigba was good,
Oh,
but
he
then
turned
it
into
wasn't
another
until
animal.
last year when he turned
Yeah.
it up into something else.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Omar Cooper will be Jackson Smith and Jigba, but as a prospect, I see a lot of those similar traits. I see a guy who, yeah, he ain't gonna burn you, he ain't gonna run past you and just leave you. Now he has full speed, but on
Well,
tape, when you just watch him on the
yeah,
field,
it didn't
it
look like it
don't
on the
look
field. Yeah.
yeah, so he's not gonna burn you, but he knows the little nuances of the game. He's a student of a game, and he'll find ways to get open, create separation. He can run after the catch as well, like a Makai Lemon. But I just like his skill set better, and I think it'll translate a lot better in the field than Makai Lemon, who's sitting at about 5'10", where Omar Cooper is
Yeah.
sitting at what 6'1", something like that.
I think he's right around. He might be a hair over 6 foot, but I think size wise, I think they're comparable. I think Omar is taller, but if he is an inch, like, I think their size is pretty comparable. Now, one thing I would say, I wasn't as high on Cooper. I think Cooper for me, dog. I think he ended up being like wide receiver 7. I think, but now I imagine he's going in the first round. There's just too much smoke for there not to be fire. And I don't
Yeah.
hate him going in the first necessarily, but for me, I think he was like wide receiver 7. But now, one thing I would say, oh hell no, I'm gonna let you do the honors. Did you see your Rams pick?
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm waiting on
Let
it to
me
come in.
break your heart right now. With the 13th pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Ty Mother effing Simpson, quarterback from Alabama. You know how you look? You look like when my Steelers drafted Kenny Pickett. Hey, you look like how I look when the Steelers drafted Kenny Pickett, dog. Oh, you look sick. Oh, you look
All right,
sick right now, man. Hey, man. Hey, go ahead. It's your pick. It's your team. It's your pick, man. Talk to me.
let me take a deep breath. Okay. So I don't like this pick.
Okay.
I'll give it a C. I'll give it a C plus. A C, no a C. I give it a pick a C. Okay. I am gonna try to figure this out. I'm gonna try to reword this. All right, let me just get right to it. My bad. So I don't like the pick because I think we have other positions that are in need right now. I don't like that. I also don't think Ty Simpson is worth the 13th overall pick. I would rather see us move back to maybe I would even be okay with the middle rounds and still get more draft capital because we know that he could possibly be picked up by the Cardinals or Jets. They're talking about them at the end of the first round. So maybe even in the middle of the first round, maybe back into like the 20, at least the 20s. And maybe that's on the back half of the first round. I wouldn't have been as mad with this if we moved back. But at 13, I think that's too high. I think there's a lot more talent out there that can be impactful for us immediately that we could have. With those things. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, my bad. And I was gonna say, yeah, man, I wasn't a big Ty Simpson guy. Honestly, I think me and you we talked about him a couple months ago, so you already know how I'm right. I was not. No, don't take it. Don't take it. Look, my girl done set my little food next to me. I ain't had time to grab a bite. I said, don't take it though. I'm definitely gonna make it happen for sure. But no, man, I'm with you. I understand what's going on because I mean, how much longer are we going to ride the Matt Stafford train? You know what I mean? Like there was talk before this last season. There was talk that he may not have been ready to start the last season with the problems with his back. He's about Tom's age, man. He getting old. You know what I'm saying? Like he's getting older as well. And so, at what point do you try to secure the future? I do something about you know what. I like his game. Honestly, I do like his game for what McVay's going to ask him to do. Like, I do think that he's going to do well in y'all's system, though. Like, I definitely think that he doesn't have he's got a good arm. Now he doesn't have the cannon that Matt Stafford has. He's got a good arm. I don't hate him for you guys' scheme, but 13 feels a little rich. I'm with you. If you're going to get him, I think you could have. Well, I guess you need two to tango. So if you're going to trade back, somebody has to want to trade up. If you could have traded back, I think you definitely still could have got him comfortably in the 20s. I don't believe that the Jets were. I think the Jets are just going to just go ahead and just play ball and draft, try to get themselves in position to draft Arch Manning next year. So I don't really think they were going to do it. The Cardinals, I think the Cardinals would have been the team. I think the Cardinals may have been the team that was going to trade back in the bottom of the first. Or honestly, because I didn't think you would even have to do that. I thought the Cardinals could have just got him in the second. They pick at the top of the second anyway. You know what I mean? Like there was talks that he might be there for my Steelers in the 50s. And so I'm with you, man. Like 13 definitely feels rich. But like you were saying, man, if you're not a fan of Lemon, right? Because with this tells me Sean McVay wasn't sold on Lemon. Because I definitely think receiver is a pressing need. Puka's out here wilding. As talented as he is, he's wilding. Are y'all going to give Puka $40 million this time next year when it's time to sign that contract with him going crazy lately? Devontae Adams has been on the trade block. And if he's not on the trade block, I would imagine this is his last year. And there's nobody really else in that room. So receiver definitely was a need. I prefer Mekhi Lemon over Omar Cooper. But just like you said, even Omar Cooper, could have been a guy to strengthen that room. And so they passed on both those guys, man, and really and go in on Ty Simpson to maybe solidify the future and, make sure they keep y'all window or keep y'all Super Bowl window on track. This also is, if it wasn't obvious now, this is definitely Matt Stafford's last ride. I shouldn't say that. I would imagine this is probably going to be Matt Stafford's last ride, though. I would think.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say that too. And that was going to bring me to the good side of the actual trade because it's a luxury pick. I mean, we solid on D and solid on O. I just would have liked to add an extra piece, to prepare for the future. I mean, but this is also a piece that prepares for the future. It's like, okay, we got Matthew Stafford. Now we got Ty Simpson sitting behind one of the best quarterbacks in the league, who's also a veteran, has seen a lot in the NFL. So we're gonna get a chance to see him there. And if this is or if this not his last ride, it's still a luxury pick. You know what I'm saying? We don't plan on picking early next year, even though there's going to be a few quarterbacks in the draft next year. We don't plan on picking early. We plan on picking later in the draft. So when we do, we plan on using that pick for somebody who can continue to help the team. I mean, those would be the good things in terms of the draft. Here's the other thing I thought about too, Willie Jack, and it also kind of made me feel like they may not get Mekhi Lemon. All of the hoopla around him at the combine with his interviews and the faces he was making and stuff like that. Do you want him on your team?
Yeah,
with Puka Nacua in the middle of doing what he's doing.
And now I think that combine stuff was a little overblown. Like I just think he was just like, because at the combine he probably been up since like 3:30 in the morning. He been running and working out, getting poked and like I just think he was just like over it. He was just checked out. Is how I think. But I ain't gonna get too and here's the thing as well. With receivers, receivers might be a little off. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta remember, man, I had AB in my house, so receivers are a little quirky. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of goes with the territory a little bit, so I ain't mad about that. Now, the Ravens pick is in, and they get a Vega Ione, the top interior lineman in the draft, guard from Penn State. This is a guy I would have loved to see him for my Steelers. I think this Ione pick to the Ravens at 14 has been chalk across most every mock. Even in my own mocks, I've been putting them there because it just makes sense. Everybody knows it was a running joke last year. What's the big guard from Baltimore last year, dog, that was always on like bloopers every week for just playing terrible? Daniel Falele, the guard from Baltimore that was a running joke. So they had to get a body in there, somebody realistic or somebody viable, and so they go get the best guy in the draft at the position. So the perfect player for the biggest need. It's an A pick for me, man. This is an A pick for me. Like, premium prospect meets premium need on the team. I think this one lined up perfect. What are your thoughts there?
No, same. I really like this pick for them as well, and I really like him. He was one of the guys. So I did my prospects a little different this year. I put all my offensive linemen together, especially with a couple of those offensive linemen possibly playing tackle, possibly playing guard at the next level. So I just did my offensive linemen together, and Ione, I had him as my third overall prospect. And he's mean. I like him. He's a Baltimore Ravens guy. He's mean.
Well, you had him at 3 overall at guard?
He's moving.
Hey, I like you. I'm with you though. Like, I think pound for pound, I think he was the best just offensive lineman in the draft. I'm with you.
I'm sorry. He's at 4. He's at 4. He's right behind Spencer Fano. But yeah, I got him at 4. And I think he's moving people off the line of scrimmage easily. Mm-hmm. He's constantly a menace in the run game. He's mean. He's got the attitude that you want to see in your offensive guard, especially going up against some of the better defensive tackles, especially in division, the defensive lines he's going to have to face. That type of attitude you're going to need in a player like him. So I really liked him, man. I really liked him.
I'm not gonna lie, man. This is shaping up to be a rough draft for my Steelers, dog. Dexter Lawrence with the Bengals. Vega, he done went to the Ravens. Like, hey, dog. Hey, I don't know if I like what's going on, man. It's getting a little scary out here. It's getting a little rough. My dog Mike Hardy had a question for us, man. He said, what do we think about the first 2 linemen off the board seeming to get more snaps on the right side versus the Bama tackle or the Georgia tackle that play on the left? And you know what, man, Mike? I'll start, man. That's a good question because the top 2 tackles in this draft, by and large, or at least for at least early on, right? The top 2 tackles on a lot of people's board have been Malinoa and Fano. Well, they're right tackles. And so, generally speaking, the premium position of the 2 is considered to be the left side. And this was a left tackle weak draft anyway. That's why a guy like Monroe Freeland, who's basically like a 1-year starter, and then also, like, if you watched him his first 3 games versus like his last 3 games, them first 3, boy, it was some rough spots. Once he got to the second half of the season and kind of settled in, man, he put top 10, 15 type of tape on the tape or play on tape. And so I think they went in the order they should have went. So for me, Fano was my tackle 1. Malinoa, I think is a better. I think I prefer him at guard. I think I prefer him at guard than tackle. But realistically, I understand that he was probably going to be. Well, honestly, he was my tackle 3. I had Fano, and then I bought the potential of Monroe Freeland. I went ahead and called him 2, Malinoa 3, and then honestly, man, I had Maxie Heinacher at 4, right tackle for Arizona State, because I see him similar or the same as I see Monroe Freeland. He's young in the position, super athletic. He's got just raw strength. So I bought high on him. I had him at 4. But and then like you, I didn't have Proctor in my top 5. But yeah, no. So I think they went in the right order. Fano 1, Malinoa 2, and then now I am shocked to see Freeland not still being available because all the hype he had. But But no, I think they went in the order that I would view them for the most part, as far as the guys on the right going before the guys on the left.
Absolutely, and I know the pick is coming in, Willie too. Willie Jack.
Oh, okay. If you got it, man, go ahead and take us to it if you got it.
Yeah, so the Buccaneers select, and I almost forgot, man. Buccaneers select defensive end out of Miami, Reuben Bain.
There we go. All stocks.
I love this pick, especially for what's my head coach's name, man?
Ty Bowles.
Ty Bowles. I really love this. He's a defensive guy. He really likes to create a pass rush, and Reuben Bain is one of those guys. Now, here's my thing, Willie Jack. I'm gonna say this: Reuben Bain was my number 2 defensive end, my edge guy in this draft. I had him. A lot of people had Arvel Reese as the as an edge. So I listed Arvel Reese with my edges. I had Reuben Bain listed above him. And the reason being is because I like what he brings to the table. He's a nice sized defensive end. He's about 260 pounds. He's strong. He can play the run. He can rush the edge. He has great bend. He has everything that you would like in that, like one of your traditional 4-3 pass rushers. And I think he can get the job done on a night in, night out basis. So I really love this pick for Tampa Bay, especially at, what was it?
15, I believe.
That's a great pick.
I like the pick for them because I do think value-wise, because for me, I think he was also a top 5 player on my overall big board, but I didn't necessarily love him as a prospect. Right now today, he's a better edge player for sure than Arvel Reese, but I had Arvel Reese rated as a higher prospect because take into account, his potential and the ceiling that he could, and maybe where his game could go. I do. So it doesn't sound like you were worried about the short arms for Reuben Bain. Like you weren't concerned at all. And honestly, man, I won't lie. It's some truth to it, dog. Because when you're a pass rusher, I was a pass rusher back in the day. We naturally at the size disadvantage of the tackle. You know what I mean? And so like that arm length stuff is real, dog. I mean, it is. He has shown through his his tape and film in college that he's been able to be extremely productive. With those same arms. I definitely love his power profile. I like him at the point of attack. I like his motor. And so I do like everything a lot about him. The only thing I would say is just like you said, he was a 4-3 defensive end. Tampa's a 3-4. I don't love him standing up. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I love him standing up and playing from a 2-point. That's maybe a little worse. But in this scheme with Ty Bowles, because Ty Bowles does want those bigger kind of power profile style of players. Yeah, that's why you see him draft bring in the guys that he has. And so he fits that mold. I did have him falling as well. I thought 14 to Baltimore, because even though he is a bigger guy and they run a 3-4 as well, but he's that Baltimore style of guy. Terrell Suggs. The comparison I made, I said, if he's going to be viable as a 2-point rusher in a 3-4, then he would need to develop like a Terrell Suggs did, who was also a guy who was 6'3", 265, kind of built in that a little big to stand up, but a little small to put your hand in the ground, right? And so, you got to hope he develops or goes in that track. But no, I do like the pick. I think you gave it an A, right?
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, no, and I'll give it an A as well. I think value wise, I think it's like I said, I still had him as a top 5 player on my board. He goes at 15. The Buccaneers have been desperate for a pass rusher for like 3 years now. You know what I'm saying? And so it fits a big need there as well. And so, yeah, I'll give it an A. Yeah, I'll give it an A. I'll give it an A minus. I don't necessarily love the thought of him playing in a 2-point though. I really don't. I would have really preferred for him to have his hand in the dirt and really, you know what I'm saying, like be you know what I'm saying, in that phone booth like he had been in Miami. But because him in space, thinking of him playing in space worries me. Oh man, hey, that 16th pick is in. Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end from Oregon, goes to the Jets at 16. What are you thinking there?
I think it's a great pick for the Jets. I think tight end is a need for them. They need another weapon to help with. They've been needing another weapon to help Garrett Wilson for a little while now. So bringing in a guy like Kenyon Sadiq, I actually thought he was a good prospect for both of the teams that just went. So I thought he could have went to the Bucks as well. Like the Bucks are in need of a tight end or somebody that can play that position. But Kenyon Sadiq will come right into that Jets offense and make a difference. I know they drafted was it Mason Taylor last year. But Mason Taylor
they did just go tight end last year. You're right.
So they drafted Mason Taylor last year, but Mason Taylor is not Kenyon Sadiq. We're talking about a 4-3 tight end. Is like a sculpture. In terms of like his build.
Man, he built like a statue.
He will get in there and make blocks as well. You see him make adjustments, and he's like fluid with his movement. So he's not like one of those like buff stiff guys that can't move well. He moves very, very well. He makes adjustments on the ball in the air. I think he'll make a great target for Geno Smith, who likes to sling it around a little bit. Now he got to stay out of trouble with them sacks and throwing interceptions. But Kenyon Sadiq offers, I think, a lot of he puts this offensive position to do a lot more things in the with this upcoming season. So I like Kenyon Sadiq. I like this pick for them. I give it an 8.
And I did as well, man. Like the rap on him wasn't fair. Everything I heard about him was like super athlete that can't block at all. As soon as I turned the tape, I'm like, man, hold on, man. Who lied? He's blocking. He's not George Kittle or Gronkowski, but he's viable. Right. We've seen way worse blocking tight ends. We saw Dalton Kincaid, we've seen Sam Laporta. We've seen a lot of guys that don't block nearly as well as he blocks in my mind. And just like you said, man, he's a premium athlete. The easy comparison for him, for me, was Vernon Davis on like the higher end, like that freak style athlete, man, 6'3", 240, 4'3". But on the low end, if it doesn't come together, Jonnu Smith. That same style of size and athlete. Remember, Jonnu Smith was at my Steelers, and man, we started giving him handoffs as a running back. Like we lined him up at tailback, and we started giving him this tosses. And the thing about it, he's such a great athlete. He got the edge. As a 6'4", 200-pound tight end, he could get the edge.
He took a couple to the house in Atlanta.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I think Kenyon Sadiq is that style of athlete, and so that's kind of high-low. Vernon Davis or Jonnu Smith, man, that's a wide spectrum. But no, I like the player. Like you said, they did just draft Mason Taylor just last year, but Mason Taylor is a traditional wide tight end. He's in line, and so Kenyon Sadiq, I like it, man, because you know what? There had been a lot of speculation that Omar Cooper Jr., your boy Omar Cooper Jr. has been linked to the Jets to be that final touch on the receiver room that's got Garrett Wilson and A.D. Mitchell. And so it was thought that Omar Cooper Jr. or even maybe Mekhi Lemon could be that slot, that third piece there to finish that room. And so now you get Sadiq, and I think he still serves that same function. And so now he's going to be their Tyler Warren, so to say, like how the Colts really moved him around and used him everywhere between the hashes. I think they'll do that. So he's going to be a tight end, but he's a pseudo slot for them. And then also you still do have the availability to put him in line because he can block. Like I say, he's not gonna dominate anybody, but he's not a liability. I'll say that. I think he's far from a liability at blocking. What do you grade the pick itself?
Yeah, I get this in the A. I get back-to-back A's for these last two draft picks with Kenyon Sadiq and Reuben Bain. I get this one an A too because this is you getting the last blue chip player in this draft. Like you're getting a guy who's he has the ability to be special. I think Kenyon Sadiq is that. So I really love this pick. This is really, really good value at this point in the draft. So I really love it. I love it, man. No, I ain't got no problems with it. Besides Mason Taylor, even though they drafted Mason Taylor last year, Mason Taylor didn't plan out. I don't think Mason Taylor broke one single tackle all year long last year. Like that was one of the craziest.
Now also you gotta be fair. The Jets was just a dumpster fire last year. Nobody looked good for the Jets last year. I think Mason Taylor is. I think he can be a. I don't think he's not going to be a superstar at all, but I do think he could be a solid. I think he could be a solid, just traditional wide tight end. I don't hate the pick. Like, it almost feels a little luxury for me because the Jets are dumpster juice. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for lack of a better word, you've got a young tight end just last year. I do now. Sadiq is Mason Taylor is nowhere in the world realm of a King Sadiq as far as potential and upside for sure, but it does still feel like a liability. No, I'll go a B because of kind of like we're saying, because he's gonna be. Because I really thought they were gonna go receiver to finish out that receiver room. He's gonna. I'm assuming they're imagining that he's gonna fill that role. So instead of having to have being an 11, having 3 wide receivers, now I mean, shit, they can be in that 2 tight end set, and then it looks like it's a heavy set because there's 2 tight ends on the field. Well, then he lines up 5 yards off the end man line of scrimmage in your slot. And now he's 6'3", 240. He runs 4'3". And you know what I mean? Yep. And now what, you're going to walk your Sam linebacker out there on him? And so I'm with you, man. It's growing on me. It is growing on me, man. Not you. I'm still going to give it a B. It still feels a little luxury because it wasn't a hole on a team that's got a lot of things to get better at. But I don't hate it, man. It grew on me. I was going to give it a C. It grew on me, man. I'll give it a B. I think you won me over a little bit there.
I mean, and think about it. The Rams were a game away from making it to the Super Bowl, and they ran a whole bunch of 13 personnel. Going down the stretch of the season. So, hey, who knows, man? But they just get a blue chip player at that spot, and I like the value. I like that value.
I got you. And then the Lions pick is in at 17. Man, they go with Blake Miller, right tackle from Clemson. I don't know if you had him in your stack. I actually had Blake Miller. When I first turned him on, I couldn't stand him, but I think I was watching him against Miami, and he got abused. Reuben Bain put all hands and feet on that man. You know what I'm saying? Mesidor too. Like he got abused, and so I was like, oh hell no. But then as I watched him in some other games, maybe not against that quality of guy, and then I started to see because he was a guy that picked up a lot of smoke or a lot of steam as well as the process played out. And so the more I watched him, I was like, okay, now I can see it. You know, he does. I ended up having him at tackle 5. I had him above Proctor. I had him at tackle 5, but because he moves pretty well, especially when he's pulling in the run game and running in space and moving up to the second level. He moves really well. He didn't have any power at all in my mind. Like he was one of the weaker. I just didn't like his power profile at all, and so that's why. I end up I didn't outside of like the top like 5-6 tackles. I don't think it was too strong a class. No, honestly, outside of probably the top 3-4 tackles, I don't think the class is too strong after that. And so he ended up being tackle 5, but it wasn't an overly strong class in my opinion. But I think the need there for Detroit's been obvious. Penei Sewell, they've already came out and said he's going to move to left tackle. And so you go get this guy who's been a 4-year starter at Clemson at right tackle. So he's an older prospect, or he's a mature prospect that can come in and play right now. And so it makes sense for what they needed to accomplish. And so I'll give it a.
Talk to me, dog. Talk to me.
I'll give it a B plus. I don't necessarily. It feels a hair high for me. Blake Miller going to the top 20, but they have the obvious need. I do think that he's a veteran at the position that can come in and play right away because that's what they're looking to do. They're trying to get back into their own Super Bowl style of contention, so they need guys that can go right now. And so I'll give it a B plus. I'll give it a B plus. Did you grade it?
No, I didn't grade it yet. But I'll give it a B minus, and I give it a B minus only because of the player. Because I'm with you that Miller. I don't think
right.
Go as high.
Yeah.
I honestly I don't think he fits the attitude of this team. I thought he played a little bit on the softer side. I honestly had Myro Freeling as more of the fitting guy for this team. You know, but like you said, you know, if Penei Sewell is moving to the left side, then you would have to go Monroe Freeling over to the right side, you know, to go there. So, you know, that could cause an issue with that. But I thought Monroe Freeling would have been better fitting for this team and the culture that they've built thus far, especially a strong running game and good passing too.
No, and you're right. And honestly, we've been talking about Freeland, and he's still on the board. That drops my grade. Because in my mind, I was like, well, damn, he's like the last one left. I'm like, Monroe Freeland's there. I definitely would have went Monroe Freeland over Blake Miller. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm dropping. No more B plus. B. Yeah, I gotta drop him down to a B. But I'm with you. I do think Monroe Freeland is definitely the better player. I think he fits that team better. Everything you just said right there, because he's got that size. He's got more power in his game, and he's a fantastic athlete. You know what I mean? So I think he did fit their mold better, and so I'm with you there. But yeah, I mean, like I said, man, if they're moving Panay to the other side, then yeah, you maybe want a guy that you don't have to teach how to play the position on the other side. The Vikings pick is in, man. Caleb Banks, defensive lineman from Florida, makes it into the top 20. There was talks that he may not make it into the first round. I don't know if you gotten to him. I know you were telling me that you were finishing up your tackles last time we kind of spoke. Did you get a chance to get into Caleb Banks, or what are your thoughts there?
Yeah. So I'm surprised because I didn't think he was going to be the first defensive tackle coming off the board. I thought it was going to be
right.
I thought it was going to be Jaden McDonald. That's who I thought was going to come off the board. I thought Jaden McDonald showed some great things on tape, but at the same time, I'm not necessarily mad at the pick because he does offer some things that the Minnesota Vikings need. Of course, he offers a size. I think he's about 6'6", 330 pounds, somewhere around there. Long arms. He's strong at the point of contact. So it's going to be hard for offensive linemen to move him off of his spot. So he's going to demand attention on the defensive line, especially within the run game. So I'm not mad about the pick. I just thought that there was a better defensive tackle who can do those same things that Caleb Banks is going to be able to do for Minnesota, but at just a tad higher level. So I'm not mad because I do think that this player is solid, but it's just a little bit too high for me in terms of where they got him at. So I'm going to go C plus on this one. Another C plus.
Ooh.
C plus B minus. C plus B minus in that area.
I don't think that's a bad grade at all, man. Like when I watched him, like the highlights are top 10. You know what I mean? Like there, I saw people compare him to Chris Jones, and if you look at his 10 best plays, I can see it because he's got that type of size, and he's got some juice now. He's like 6'6", 330. He's got a little juice though. Like you know what I mean? Like he can get off the rock a little bit. And it did kind of put me in the mind of Chris Jones in that way with that build and that kind of a little burst or athleticism. And I think that's the biggest difference between him and Caden McDonald. Caden McDonald, he's also like 6'5", 6'6", 330, but he's a real deal big boy. Like he's a rock. You know what I'm saying? He's a rock in the middle of the defense. I think Caleb Banks has more juice and upside as far as what he could do if for one, he's got to stay healthy. But I think he does offer more in the passing game for sure. I'm not so sure that Caden McDonald's probably just going to be a 2-down player. But he's damn good in them 2 downs, though. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't no running at Caden McDonald. You know what I mean?
When I watched Caden McDonald, there wasn't many times where whoever was blocking him wasn't a yard or two behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, he's resetting the line of scrimmage for sure. Yeah.
Like he moving in line of scrimmage. And if he was the one making the play, 9 times out of 10, it was a 1 or 2 yard loss on any run going towards him.
No, I got you. But
you got it, brother.
I tried to steal a bite of my cold pizza, and this Panthers pick is in, man. Monroe Freeland goes 19 to the Panthers to be, I guess, the future blindside protector, man, for your dog, for your boy Bryce Young, man. You want to talk this one through for me so I can chew this food in my mouth?
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. So I'm kind of surprised, and this kind of lets me know what they think of their offense, okay? Because they had a couple of options they could go here. Makai Lemon is still out there, and I think
he is.
From my position, this is a team that was in a good position to pick another receiver the year after drafting Ted McMillan, to play alongside him. But this lets me know that they really like the receiver that kind of came on strong towards the end of the year. What's my guy's name?
You talking about Coker?
Yes, Jalen Coker. Jalen Coker started to come on strong towards the end of the year. So for me, this kind of lets me know that they believe in Jalen Coker being that number 2 because Ted showed the ability Ted showed the ability to be the guy. So now it's like, okay, we want to build this offensive line up front so that 1, Bryce has a little bit more time. 2, they can run the ball better as well because Monroe really can move some people now. So he can move some people. Now, I don't think he's another guy. No, I'm tripping. I almost got it mixed up. No, Monroe really can definitely move some people. So I think he'll add to what they're able to do in their run game. But then also offer a little extra protection when it comes to Bryce Young just having the time that he needs to hit his guys down the field. He drafted those guys, so he's gonna need the time to hit those guys down the field. And so I'm not mad at this pick. I give this one a B+. I like Monroe Freeland going to the Panthers.
Hey, hold on real quick. I'm talk about it as well. What's going on in the chat, man? They said Cokeheads unite. Hey, what's because I'm not watching Eagles select Makai Lemon at pick 20.
So, I know that's ZB. ZB loves Jalen. Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Now you back. You said ZB loves what now?
He loves Jalen Coker. So that's why he said Cokeheads unite. He loves that.
I didn't know if like they had somebody come out and announce the pick and they was like zooted. Okay, hey, shout out to my dog ZB, man. He said Cokeheads unite. Boy, hey, that's a hell of a t-shirt, ZB. slap a Panthers sign on the breast pocket and put Cokeheads unite, man, with Jalen Coker's number on there. I get one. That's funny as hell. But okay, but no, with Freeling, no, I think they definitely needed. Well, I'm with you. I thought that they like this is a spot that I could have saw Kenyon Sadiq going if he was still here. But then I'm with you as well. It still feels like they need a receiver to fill out the rest of that room because Xavier Legette, it looks like he didn't hit, but Jalen Coker. I think they like what they have there with him being a nice compliment to Ted McMillan. Ted McMillan hitting the ground running. They got Jimmy Horn from Colorado last year as well. That I hope Jimmy gets a crack, man. I want to see Jimmy on the field. I like Jimmy Horn from Colorado, man. Shout out to Coach Prime. But so I see all that, but I think Kenyon Sadiq could have been a guy there. But their starting tackle, I think he's out this year for sure. And I think he may have his injury may be one that could even impact the rest of his career. They did make a move to bring over a tackle in free agency. I think it's what's the guy's name? Walker from Green Bay. But I don't know I think it's a relatively short-term deal. The right tackle, Tyler Mooton, he's also getting up there. And so I think Monroe Freeling 2 years from now is probably going to be he's probably going to be your starting left tackle, and he may be a guy that plays and protects Bryce Young's back blind side for the next decade. But what do you think about Makai Lemon, man, going to the Eagles?
So a couple things. I'm going to touch on this Makai Lemon pick. I do want to say the Eagles traded up to get this pick. So this was the 20 pick. So they traded up from 23 to get this pick. The Cowboys traded back to 23, and they also got 2 fourth-round selections. So the Cowboys moved back a couple of spots, and the Eagles moved up to get Makai Lemon. This pick, Makai Lemon to the Eagles. I guess I like this pick for them. I like this pick for them. With all of the talks coming in lately, I know we said we were going to talk about this. All signs point to AJ Brown being traded to the Patriots on June 1st or after June 1st. It sounds like it's more of a done deal than anything. So
that writing's been on the wall. Yeah,
their writing has been on the wall. AJ Brown hasn't been happy. So what makes you more happy than to go to your former coach and that's a whole nother situation in itself. To go to your
Oh man, yeah, we didn't get into that.
Your former coach's team, who's coaching with the Patriots now, and they are in much need of a wide receiver. So now you got Mekhi Lemon. I think he can step in and be the number two. The door is open for Devontae Smith. I was really high on Devontae Smith coming out in that draft, and
yeah, you were.
I think he is fully capable of being a true number one receiver for this team, especially for a team that just wants to run the ball anyway. So it's not like they're going to be feeding them 12 to 15 targets a game. They don't necessarily need to, but Mekhi Lemon as that number two option there, I think could be valuable for this team. And he fit. And Howie does it again. A guy slips and falls to him wherever he's drafting at in every draft. You know what I'm saying?
No, and I'm with you, man. I really like the pick. I like Mekhi Lemon. Like I did like Mekhi Lemon. I do think, just understanding what he is. He is a guy he's a slot only style of guy, right? Realistically, but man, he's got real toughness. I really did appreciate his hands, like his tough catchability, like his contact catchability was special. And he's not a big guy. You know what I mean? Because like it was just so many games where it's like I said, man, he's getting sandwiched between two defenders off his feet in the air, and he's coming down with the rock. You know what I mean? Like the touchdown he had in the left end zone against now I can't think of the team, but he's arm fighting with a guy, like boxing this dude out with the right hand, and it's a back shoulder. He turns around and he snags with one hand as he's falling down, fighting with this dude holding the defender out with his arm. Like I think he's got some. Hold on, man. The Steelers are on the clock. I need everybody to focus. All right. I need everybody to calm down. Nobody move too fast. No fast movements. Matter of fact, who's on the board, dog? Hold on. I'm sitting there talking. I looked up like, wait a minute, we're on the clock. Who's on? Okay, your boy Mark Cooper Jr. is there. And honestly, I wouldn't hate that pick because I do think we need another body in that receiver room. I think we definitely need another guy in that room. I'm not a huge Mark Cooper Jr. guy, but I could see if that's the way they went.
Casey Concepcion still out there. Casey Concepcion, he's still out there.
See, I like Concepcion, and see, I had Concepcion over Cooper Jr. too, but his hands, dog, he really does scare me with his hands. Like he doesn't look like he doesn't catch the ball comfortably. Like every catch feels like he's, you know what I mean? Like it makes me nervous. But now he's got juice. He's definitely got real juice. Concepcion, I love me some David Boston, man. Let's go ahead and just run. Let's go ahead and just do it, man. All my receivers are at least 6'4", 220. I'm with it. But Freeland's gone. Wani's been gone. Those are the two old linemen I would have thought in the first round. You know what? I don't hate the safety here. Oh, hold on, the pick is in. I'm not ready for this, chop. Hey, I'll take it. Yeah, Maxie Hunter, come on down, big dog. Yes, sir, Ski. Yes, sir. Now let me tell y'all something, man. I think I actually brought him up a minute ago. I didn't. Honestly, I wasn't sure he'd be the guy we go after, but I love it. He's raw, he's young. So a lot of the things that we say and talk about Monroe Freeling, I feel the same way with Hunter. Like, honestly, we have a hole at left tackle. Broderick Jones has been a disaster. And then, we had a guy, Dylan Cook, that stepped in and he actually played decent. And then we got in the playoffs against Houston and he got teed on. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely had a hole at left tackle. 2 years ago, we drafted. Why am I tripping right now? Our right tackle, right? We drafted why am I tripping on my right tackle's name, dog? Am I losing my mind? Long story short, he was a left tackle. We moved him to right tackle. Maxie Hunter's played right tackle, but he's young and he's a fantastic athlete, dog. 6'6", 320 pounds. He ran 4'9". You know what I mean? Like, fantastic athlete. And he's new to the game. I want to say he didn't start playing ball until junior college. Like, I think he's Nigerian. And his story or his story of how he even got into football is pretty astounding. So he's so new and raw to the position itself anyway that I hope we move him to left. Like he hasn't played right long enough to where it's a big adjustment. So he's still such a moldable piece of clay. I would love to put his ass on the left side. Or we can move our right tackle to left because he played left in college. But I would, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'd rather leave him on the right and let's let this guy play left and develop that way. But no, I'm with it, man. I ain't gonna complain it out.
But you know what? I like this trade for y'all too. And the thing that I like about it too, he's one of those guys that's looking for the action. He's got good feet, you know, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. It's one of those players where you can tell he wants to be better. He wants to get better at what he does on a down in, down out basis. When you got a guy like that, you bring into your team that's hungry like that. He's easily be coachable. He's easily moldable. And I think y'all got something there with Ihanacher because he wants to get better. And he'll be just what you guys need at this moment. The question is, who y'all gonna have slinging a rock? Is Aaron Rodgers coming back, or y'all going a different direction?
Hey, that's what DB just said. But hold on, real quick, man. Shout out to my dog Mike Hardy, man. He said he 4 drinks in. Hey, bro, we been slacking, bro. My dog Mike Hardy said he 4 drinks. My fault, chop. I'm slacking though, man. My dog Mike said he 4 in. Hey, this was for you, Mike. You know what I mean? And shout out to my Steelers, Max Ihanacher. Man, if I'm gonna pull a time, man, Steelers going to the Super Bowl. I don't give a damn what y'all said. I don't give a damn who passing the ball. I don't know who's throwing the ball right now. I don't know. But guess where we going? To the Super Bowl. But nah, man. But no, I like the pick. I'll go B+ on the pick. I'll go B+. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, man. This could be that. I'll go A- on the pick, Chop. I really like Max Ihanacher, though. I really do. Like, I thought, you know who I thought he could be with the type of athlete he is?
Who?
Lane Johnson. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, with like that size of that. Because think about the athlete that Lane Johnson is. Because this dude, like, he's, like, when I see him move, like, bro, he's, like, he can move. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a fantastic, just specimen of an athlete, man. To be that big, that heavy, that size, man ran 4'9" at 327 pounds. You know what I'm saying? At 6'7". He's been playing football for like 3.5 years. You know what I'm saying? And so I like that type of athleticism, man. I really like. Yeah, I gotta give it an A. I think he's really a stud. I really do think he's a stud. And you know what, Mike, man, this is for you, big dog. I appreciate you tapping in with me tonight too, for sure. Yeah, man, my fault. I know I was all over the place right there, man. My fault. Go ahead, get us back on track, man. I was all over the place.
You good, brother. That's your squad. I ain't mad at you. It looks like the Chargers pick is in, so it looks like they coming up to the podium to make their pick. I'm not sure which direction they're gonna go. I think they got a few holes at offensive line as well. But it looks like they went defensive end on the other side of Reuben Bain. They went Akeem Mesidor. So okay. They get a nice defensive end here. I really like Akeem. I know going into this draft, guys like David Bailey and the Arvel Reeses and the Reuben Bains, those guys were getting a lot of the attention when it came to like the defensive ends. Akeem, I think, is also one of the better defensive ends coming out in this draft. Now, he's 25, so he's a little older, but I still don't think that stops you from grabbing a guy like him. I think he comes in, makes an immediate impact. He's one of those guys where you can say, I think he's more pro-ready right now than a lot of guys that still need to be developed. He's actually one of my favorite defensive ends coming in. So I think that he comes in, making an immediate impact. He's really good with his hands, good feet. He's just a really good all-around defensive end. I think he can really come in and help this defensive line right away on the other side of Khalil Mack.
No, and you know what? I agree, man. And honestly, a lot of the games in which I was watching, like he jumps off the tape on the same tape that has Reuben Bain on it. You know what I mean? And honestly, there was a lot more times in some of the film that I'm watching, like they showing the highlights of that Notre Dame game, and so I'm watching it. Like he was just as impactful on that Miami defense as Reuben Bain, in my opinion. Like, I don't think the drop off from Reuben Bain or from Messidor to Reuben Bain was too steep at all. Bain's definitely younger and he's stronger, but I would give the edge to Messidor in just pure pass rush. Like, I think, but also he's 25, and so his rush looks mature. You know what I mean? Because he's been playing college ball for 7 years, and so that did come into account when I was like considering him, like where I viewed him, because he's got a big advantage on 18, 19, 20-year-old guys. He's 24, 25. You know what I'm saying? And so he really is, that is an advantage. But I'm like you, man. He's a player. He's a player. He can play. Worrying about if you're going to sign him to a second contract, that's just not even a realistic way of looking at things these days. Will Anderson just got re-signed by the Texans. It's only a 3-year deal anyway.
You can, so like, in this league, you can be fired after a year. So
that stuff don't mean nothing anyway. Exactly. And so I'm with you. I do like him. And then going to the chart. Matter of fact, ZB, that's ZB's team, man. ZB, how you feel about it, man? Holla at us in the chat. But no, I'm with you, man. I did like him as a prospect. I wasn't as high. I did knock him a little bit for his age. Honestly, I really did, because also at 25, this is as good as it gets. Like the ceiling is the floor, but now it's a good floor, but this is all we got. And so I think for those reasons, I did kind of hold it against him just a tad, but just strictly the player in the tape is fantastic. You know what I'm saying? If him and Bain switched ages, he goes in the top 10. I think, you know what I'm saying? If he's 22, he goes in the top 10. I think so, dog. I really do. So I did like him as a player for sure. I did. Yeah, ZB, man, let me know what you think. I see it was a few Chargers fans in here. Matter of fact, I saw a couple Chargers fans in the chat, man. So y'all, make sure y'all drop some in that chat. Let us know what y'all think about the pick, man, and King Messidor. Also, just as far as the fit, I like it as well because they've got Khalil Mack there, who's still playing good, but he's old. You know what I'm saying? He's like 34, 35. They keep signing him on these 1-year deals, so that's running out. And so now, well, you replace an old guy with an old guy, but still, you know, I don't know how much longer, like, this could be the end for Khalil Mack. You know, if he's going to finally go ahead and hang it up after this year. And so now you already fill that room up with a guy that he's good to go and ready to go right now. You know what I mean? Kind of like we were talking earlier about Blake Miller. He's ready to go right now. He's an older prospect. He's mature. He's got a lot of experience, and you don't have to wait on him before he could be effective. So I think it makes sense in that way.
Gotcha.
But hold on, man. I feel like did we miss a pick? No, we didn't. 21, 22, and now the Cowboys look like 23.
Yeah, they did because Cowboys traded back to get to 23.
Yeah, that's what threw me off. I was like, wait a minute, it felt like something was off. Okay, there it is.
Yeah. So we'll see where they go. They didn't make a pick so far. So maybe I think this is a prime spot for the Cowboys to go after Jamal McCoy if they still believe in him. I think he's failed far enough to where I think this could be a solid pick for them. You know, they move a couple of times now, you know, to get in position to draft probably a defender. We'll see where they go when that time comes. You know, there's a lot of defenders that are up there. You got Zion Young if they want to get a rusher. If you want to go Jamal McCoy, if you want to go corner. I seen somebody put this in the chat too, but Dylan Thieneman. I'm not a big fan of Dylan Thieneman as a safety. I know a lot of guys look at his skill set and his athletic ability, but when I watched him on tape, I didn't see first-round talent there. So he's one of the guys I don't think he's first-round talent, but we'll see where they go here. It looks like the pick is in.
Oh, Cowboys go Malachi Lawrence, the outside linebacker edge rusher from Central Florida. I think I might have just said his name to you the other night. That he had been getting a lot of steam, man, about a guy that's going to sneak into the first round. And honestly, in my latest mock, I did have the Cowboys go. No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, I had the Cowboys getting them at 20, and then I ain't gonna lie, man. In my last one, I ended up putting them at 15 to the Buccaneers. But then that's because I had Reuben Bain I ended up going earlier, and I moved him up. I think as a pure like especially a guy that's gonna play in a 3-4. I think he's the next guy up. There's a lot of these pass rushers in this year's draft that I didn't love a lot of these guys, man. These smaller, undersized guys, and I was a smaller, undersized rusher, so who am I to hate? But like Cassius Howell, R. Mason Thomas, Romello Height, like a lot of these undersized rushers, I didn't love a lot of these guys, man. And for that reason, I had Malachi Lawrence. I had him jump a lot of those guys because he's, you know what I mean, like in those trenches, man. You gotta pay the price of admission. Like you gotta be able to bang a little bit, man. You know what I mean? So he's the guy that's got more of that traditional size that I know that can handle and stick at it. Cassius Howell, I just think he's too small. He's got short arms and he's light. You know what I mean? And he's small. You know what I mean? So I'm a fan of Malachi Lawrence. Them trading back a couple spots and then grabbing them and picking up value later on in the draft. I love it for that reason. Him at 23 for me, I think he was a guy, I imagined him sneaking into the bottom of the first. So I don't necessarily think it's too rich considering the class. They had the obvious need for it as well. I'm gonna go a real comfortable B. And if we take into account the trade compensation that they got as well, moving around, trading with Philly, then I think it could be a B+. But I'll go a B. I'll go a very good, solid B. What do you think? And I will also, did you get a chance to take a look at him? Oh, and I'm gonna circle back to Thieneman as well, man. I know, like I said, I'm all over the place. I just realized I didn't know if you was focused or if you was froze. And then as soon as I was like, oh, you know what, he must be froze. Then you clicked over. Go ahead, give me no audio. No audio. Can't hear you. Yeah. Hold on. Go ahead and work it out. Hold on. All right, look, my dog Chop gonna get his audio together, man. And then while he's working on that, you know what I'm saying? We just gonna rock out. Y'all know what's going on. I'm gonna get to some of these comments, man. Y'all been running wild in these comments. Let's see. My dog ZB said Mekhi Lemon is he gonna be Treylon Burks? AJ Brown might just be putting a curse on the guys that replace him. That's a good comment, ZB. I hope not. I like Mekhi Lemon, man. Like I said, he's got a grit to him that I just appreciate. And then also, when the Titans traded AJ Brown, which was terrible, and then they tried to replace him with a direct comp comparison with Treylon Burks, like that was doomed. That was a disaster. Mekhi Lemon is just a better pure prospect as a receiver than Treylon Burks was when he was coming in. Oh, where'd Treylon Burks come in from? I almost said South Carolina, but I don't think it was South Carolina. But when Treylon Burks was coming in, he wasn't as good. He wasn't as polished of just a pure receiver that Mekhi Lemon is. Like, I think Mekhi Lemon is more or less ready to go. Treylon Burks was going to be a guy that you were going to have to kind of hope he can build a game to match his size and athleticism. And so I think it's a little different in that way. But yeah, no, I think my dog Chop might be back, man. I think Mekhi Lemon, I don't think he's going to have that issue. Arkansas, there we go. Appreciate you, Mike Hardy. My dog Mike in the building, man. Arkansas, yeah, red. There we go. I was thinking South Carolina. I was like, nah, that ain't right. But yeah, Arkansas and South Carolina both have like red and maroon. There we go. Yeah, ZB said is AJ Brown jinxing all the guys that try to replace him, and is Mekhi Lemon going to go down the path of Treylon Burks? And I was saying, nah, I didn't think so. But then hold on, man. Give me a test audio. Nope. Hold on. Go ahead and work it out. Yeah, do what you got to do. Yeah, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't got nothing but time, big dog. We ain't got nothing but time. I'm catching up on this chat, man, while my dog Chop is getting that audio sorted out. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, y'all had all the jokes. Yeah, I see. Hey, I appreciate your time. Hey, he's a stud, man. Hey, Honiture, I think, is a stud. He's raw. You know what I mean? He's gonna have to be coached up for sure. You know what I mean? But he's a guy in 3 years. I don't see any reason why he's not a Pro Bowl tackle. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see why he's not like one of these guys, man, it's going to be a premium, true, real deal premium athlete at the position, man, for sure. Let's see. Let's get it. Hey, yeah. Hey, Mike, man, I'm glad you reminded me as well, man. I'm gonna have to get with you, man, or probably chop it up with you tomorrow about the timing. Cause I'm definitely gonna Casey Concepcion drafted by the Browns at what pick is this? Oh, pick 24. Okay, Casey Concepcion to the Browns at 24. Chop, you gotta hey, Chop, just keep talking, and whenever I hear you, I know you back. Nah, still nothing right now though. Still nothing right now.
We're gonna keep
but
you got me now.
Okay, no, there we go. Now I just heard you.
Okay, all right, cool.
Okay, there we go.
I
Okay,
had to
we
get
back.
my headphones on. I had to get something situated.
Yeah, we back. But no, Mike, I'm gonna get with you, man, to get the times on the times on everything, man. Let me know what time everything's going on for sure, so I can make sure I pull up on you, man. Oh, Tom said he wanted to Honda cheer for his Texans. Man, y'all just rebuilt in the Texans. Y'all signed 3 old linemen. Y'all got Ariante Ursery last year. I like Ursery. I think give Ursery some time, man. I think Ursery can be a player for you at left tackle. Y'all drafted, well, Blake Fisher probably is looking like he didn't pan out. But y'all signed 3 offensive linemen in free agency just this year, I thought. The Texans did. But let's see. Hey, he said, hey, man, enjoy yourself, man. It's a holiday, man. It's a holiday for the football heads, man. This is spring Christmas. You know what I mean? The draft is spring Christmas for the football heads, man. You enjoy yourself, big dog. Yeah, you enjoy yourself.
As you should.
Yeah. And he said, hey, they started to clear out the Steelers pick. Hey, man, you know, the important stuff is done. You know what I'm saying? We did what we came to do tonight. But, while you was out, man, Casey Concepcion, receiver from Texas A&M, went to the Browns at 24, man. You got some thoughts for us?
I mean, that's another position group that they needed. Like, you had Jerry Jeudy over there, but you really had no other like true number one receiver or a guy over there that can really help out in the passing game for like your young quarterbacks. Like you drafted 2 rookie quarterbacks. You had both of them to start, along with 3 different starting quarterbacks last year, and nobody for them to throw to, and you had nobody protected them because their offensive line wasn't very good last year. So I think it's good that they started off with offensive tackle and getting Spencer, and then coming back with Casey Concepcion. Now I wasn't sure which receiver was going to be next off the board. You could have went Concepcion, could have went Omar Cooper, could have went a couple of different ways, or could have went Boston. Your guy Boston. So I'm not mad at this pick to get a Concepcion here to add a weapon for them to have somebody to throw to going into the season.
Okay, yeah. And I'm with you, man. I think they definitely had to get a receiver in that room. I'm not a big, well, you know, I was never a big Jeudy guy. You know what I mean? Dating all the way back then. So yeah. I wasn't a big Jeudy guy. And then he's too inconsistent, man. And his time in Denver, people would make a lot of excuses for him. He didn't produce, man. He didn't ball. And the same problems that he had in Cleveland, that he had in Denver, he's had in Cleveland. He's inconsistent catching the ball. I mean, like he's inconsistent catching the ball, man. He drops passes in big moments. It feels like, you know what I mean? And so I'm not super high on him. And then I'm with you as well, man. The rest of that room, Cedric Tillman, who's been on that roster for like 4 years out of Tennessee. Most people don't even know his name. He's been on that roster. He's one of those Tennessee big tall, those height, weight, speeds guys that always come from Tennessee. We got Chris Brazzell in the draft this year that fits that mold. And I like Brazzell more than Tillman. But then they got Isaiah Bond, small, speedy receiver from Texas, and then Jerry Jeudy. The best receiver on that team last year was Harold Fenton Jr. Matter of fact, you were big on Harold Fenton Jr., if I remember right, the tight end from
Harold
Bowling
Fenton,
Green.
That's my dog. That's my boy.
And he stepped right in and showed out. He's the number one receiver on that team. So they definitely had to add someone. I would have won. I mean, I'm glad they didn't because I like him. But Denzel Boston would have made sense there for me because you already have some undersized guys. I think he could have been a nice size complement to what you already have in a guy like Jerry Jeudy and Isaiah Bond. Because Casey Concepcion, he's like 5'10", 5'11", 190 pounds. You know, so now you got three guys all that size, and none of these guys can catch. None of these guys have reliable hands. Jerry Jeudy's hands are inconsistent. Yeah. Casey Concepcion, which I really did like his game. I think I still end up having him as my wide receiver 5. I think I still had him at wide receiver 5. But honestly, like, he really does scare me, man, with his hands, man. He doesn't look natural catching the ball. And so it did worry me, but he's a player. And he's a guy that I imagined he would go in the bottom of the first. And so I'm okay with the value. I'll go. Damn. I'll go a B. I just think it's kind of, I don't know. I really would have liked them to go. I don't know. Maybe I'm being biased because my wide receiver 2 is on the board, Boston. You know what I mean? And I think his skill set kind of complements what they already have better than like throwing another guy in that same or in that similar build in the way they play the game as Jeudy, as Jeudy and Bond. But yeah, I'll go a very solid B. Like I said, I'll go a solid B there. What do you think about the pick as far as a grade?
Yeah, I'll probably go B minus there as well. You said something that really stood out in terms of them having like a lot of those small receivers.
Yeah, man.
And one thing my old coach used to tell me, man, is big receivers make you put safeties over the top. You know what I'm saying? So having a Jerry Jeudy already, and then going to get a guy who's very similar in stature and the speed type guy. You don't have any of those possession guys. You know, those guys where, all right, I need you to run this big body slant right here, to get this to pick up about 5-6 yards. You know what I'm saying?
It's 3rd and 6. Everybody knows we throwing the ball, man. Go get these 6. Like you exactly. They don't have that guy. Exactly. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's gonna make tough catch, spot. So yeah, where we are there. But yeah, man, looks like the Bears is in. And they actually go with the safety that I spoke about, Dylan Thieneman, out of Oregon.
And that's perfect because I wanted to circle back on him, so that's perfect.
Yes. Bears go Dylan Thieneman. They were in need of a safety. They got rid of Brisker last year. They got rid of Kevin Byard last year. So they needed a safety in this room, and a that, like I said before, he guy that I like some of the other safeties a little bit better, but they needed a guy who had a little bit of athletic ability who can play that free style role for them, to be more so like, I guess, they're Harrison Smith, and just play on the back of that defense. Dylan Thieneman, they're hoping it could be that guy.
And I saw Thieneman a little different. I liked him. I didn't love him. I think there was talk that he could go like 12 to Dallas, like at a point in the draft, in the draft lead up. And I was like, no, that's way too high. Like, that's just way too high. I'll tell you what it was for me with Thieneman. I didn't like how Oregon used him because I think he's a pure post safety.
Free.
His Purdue tape, that's where it's at. His Purdue tape for me is like, that convinced me to make him a first round pick. He's got fantastic range, dog. If you just let him just sit back in the deep middle and let him really, because he's got good ball skills as well. Like, he's got good ball skills. He's got pretty good range. At the combine, he ran 4.35. I didn't see no 4.35 when he's wearing his cleats and pads. But I do think he's got good range. Oregon had him playing. Oregon tried to use him like a Derwin James, like a star role where he's playing like a deep linebacker. He's playing more so a center of the field rover at like 8 yards. But that ain't his game. I don't think he's not a strong enough tackler to really be an enforcer in that way that you've got to be like a Caleb Downs. If I've got a safety that's going to live around 6 to 8 yards around the box, you got to be able to bang a little bit. I need you to thump a little bit. You know what I mean? I need you to have a different style of aggression. I just didn't think that was his game. I think they asked him to do. I just don't think they capitalized on what he does best, in my opinion. But his viability as just a deep free safety, a range you guys just gets to sit back there and just keep the lid on. I really like that, and I like it for that team. Shout out to our dog Cooper Jones, man. I like it for the Bears because just like you said, just like my dog Chop said, man, they sent both starting safeties out the door this offseason. And so now they did bring in some guys, right? But you know how it is when they say free agency. Those guys are here for a good time, not a long time. And so you do need a long-term answer. And then even the guys they brought in, I'm trying to think who they brought in. I want to say it was one of the guys from Seattle, but no one that makes me think this position is solidified now for the next 5 years. I do think that Dylan Thieneman, I imagine he's going to play. Matter of fact, who did I compare him to? Did I compare him to Bayard? I think he's got his Purdue tape, dog. He's got real deal single high ability, man. I didn't like his Oregon tape that as much at all. Now, you know who I compared him to? I think it was a cross between Jesse Bates and who else? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna come back to it, but he put me in the mind of like a Jesse Bates and somebody else I said as well, man. But in the single high role, and especially for the Bears with those holes that they had with free agency, I like the pick. I think it's an A pick, man. I think it's an A pick. But we see him differently though. But I think it's an A pick. Team need, and I think he fits. It's a player that people had as high as people are talking about him at 12 to Dallas legitimately. And you get him at 25. Now that was rich for me. But at 25, bottom half of the first, I think anywhere from 20 to 40 is great. Or starting around 20, I think was fine for him. So to get him at 25 for me lines up, and I think it fits a need. And I think he'll go back home to just pure post safety. And I think it's going to be a lot better for him. So I don't mind that at all. Damn, where's my notes on him?
Absolutely. Okay. Well, I guess we'll see. Well, I mean, he's definitely a guy that can play. I think he needed to play free, straight free.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, he just wasn't one of those guys that was super high on my list. Especially, well,
no, I got you.
Not a first round guy. I see second round, but not a first round guy.
No, I'm with you though too, man. Like I said, if he'd have went 20 to 40, I think was his sweet spot in my mind. Damn, man, I can't find my notes. I'm trying to think who I compared him to. Jesse Bates and somebody else. But let me see what we got. Oh, Tom said that the Texans made a trade. Man, have you seen the details on the Texans trade?
So I didn't see the details on the Texans trade, but I did see a Dolphins trade.
I don't see a Dolphins trade. Tom, drop the Texans trade details in the chat for me, big dog. How come I ain't seeing it? Oh no, okay, it just popped up on my screen. Okay, so Ian Rappaport apparently is 26 and 91 to move up to 25.
Okay.
Let me see who they're going to pick. Excuse me, move up to 26.
And then
Keelan Rutledge.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm going to say, and the Dolphins moved up too. The Dolphins traded up to San Francisco spot at 27, and then the 49ers get picks number 30 and 90.
Oh, who Miami? Oh, Miami coming getting Denzel Boston. Let's go, Miami. Let's go, Malik Willis. They got to get a receiver, like you said earlier. I think O-line and receiver is, well, now they need a corner as well, but I don't know, man. Like I said, your dog McCoy, man, somebody's going to take the risk, man, and bank on the long-term upside. You know what I said? Jesse Bates.
They also need a safety.
Oh, yeah, no, they whole secondary is trash. Respectfully. Sorry, y'all. Y'all are in the NFL.
They also,
but yeah.
And then they just who they lost Minka, I believe, too.
Yeah, Minka went to they traded Minka to the Jets. Yeah, Minka's with the Jets in New York now. Yeah.
The Jets.
So yeah. But no, the Texans make that trade with the Bills and they draft Keelan Rutledge, guard from Georgia Tech. He's a guy that was also rumored to my Steelers as well, but more so of a second round pick. He's nasty. he's the type of lineman that I do like. Because he's got that nasty demeanor. You know what I mean? He's that, when it's like for O lineman, like I want my O lineman to be the kind of guy that like just pushes you for no reason or sees you walking in front of him and kicks the back of your foot. Just an asshole. You know what I mean? I want my guards to just be like a-holes looking to pick a fight. And Keelan Rutledge is that type of guy. I like the player. The fact that they traded for him and the details of the trade went off too fast. It said 26 and 91, I think, to move up one spot. The trade 2 spots with Buffalo. So I'm not sure maybe who they felt like they had to get ahead of to get him. That feels a little, maybe that's a little premium, but I do like the player.
Well, I do think
I'll go C plus because I don't. He's a guy that I think he was a round 2 guy, and you traded up in round 1 to get him, and he's also a guard. Man, it's just not a premium position, just flat out trading up, giving up assets to move up and get a guard in round 1 that probably was going to go in round 2 feels a little. I don't like necessarily the value, but I do like the player.
That's true. I will say in their defense, CJ Stroud was getting beat down, especially in the playoffs. And their offensive line was something that they needed to do something about. And I know they made some moves in the offseason, but got there that pretty much almost all of them needed to be. I don't know. It's still questionable to me why they even got rid of Laramie Tunsil in the first place, but getting rid of Laramie Tunsil to, in the middle developing a young QB, that's still mind-boggling. Now they're trying to replace this line, and they're scrambling to do still be competitive for years to come.
Well, no, I think the stuff with Laramie Tunsil, if I remember right, and Tom could probably fill us in a little bit if he's still in here. I think it was locker room issues. I think he was like the coaching staff felt like he was a cancer in the locker room type of situation, and that's why they went ahead and moved off of him. But I'm with you though, man. I mean, for a team that's watching their quarterback get demolished week after week, and you sent away, Laramie Tunsil is still probably the best pure pass protecting tackle in football. I mean, I'm like, who as if we're talking strictly pass protection, I don't know if there's another tackle better than Laramie Tunsil. Honestly, I'm trying to think on the spot. He may be it, dog. It just pass protection. Now the run game and overall, maybe not. You know what I mean? But just pass protection, he's got to be top 2, 3 if he's not number 1. And so I'm with you there. But I think that's what it was. What was behind it, though. Okay, yeah. Tom said it was there in the locker room. And then also, yeah, because he did get cashed out too, boy. Golly. I can't remember what the numbers was when they sent him to Miami, but he got cashed out. And no, not Miami, Washington. And then I think didn't Washington even re-up or rework his deal? And he got another bump, I want to say not too long ago, but Washington definitely cashed him out for sure. For sure.
So it looks like the Miami Dolphins, they came up and got your boy, man. It was getting a lot of steam that you was talking to me last few days. He's been picking up steam, and they picked him up as a corner. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
They picked up Miami corner.
Hey, I tell you right now, I mock this as well. I think he's a perfect fit for Hafley's defense because he's a pure zone corner in my mind. Man, where's my notes, man? He's a pure zone corner, and so that could be good or bad. You know what I mean? In my mind, because I really do think and I think in my notes, one of the things I wrote about him was like, it really is going to be like eye of the beholder, right? If you're a cover 4 team, if you're that Vic Fangio style defense, Philadelphia or even or San Francisco plays a lot of cover 4 heavy team. Philly, San Fran, and you know what? Honestly, Seattle. I think because a lot of those teams in which, like I said, a lot of cover 4, a lot of off coverage in which we really keep the lid on and let all the work happen up front. That's what Jeff Hafley wants to do. What he tried to get done in Green Bay and it didn't work out. but he fits with what they want to do on that defense perfect. And it's a fantastic fit because they starting corners right now. The best corner on this team until 37 seconds ago was a guy named Storm Duck. Storm Duck was quarterback one for the Miami Dolphins 52 seconds ago. you feel me? So they needed a corner, dog. And I think this guy, I think definitely fits with this new defense is going to do perfectly, man. I love it. I love it. I like the player and the team need and the player fit. I'm gonna give it an A. Maybe I'm a little biased though. Maybe that's a little heavy. Maybe that's a little heavy because I mean, Colton Hood was still on the board, but see, Colton Hood, he's a press man guy, and that's not what Hafley's looking to do. So yeah, I like it, man. I like it. No, you know what they traded to get him. I'm not sure what all they gave up. Okay, maybe I'll give it a B plus. There we go. Maybe I'll give it a B plus. Yeah. Did you get a chance to look at him after we talked about him?
Let's catch up with too.
Oh yeah,
So
for sure.
I did. I wasn't as huge of a fan with him, and I'll run it. I'll run it in just a second, Willie Jack. But I wasn't as big of a fan as him. I feel like sometimes it's almost like his hips or feet that get stuck in mud at times. He finds himself oftentimes, especially in man, playing from behind, trying to play catch up,
Exactly. Yeah.
to wide receivers down the field. So it makes sense as to reason why he should be more of a zone corner, and maybe he'll play that better. There were just certain things, but cornerbacks on our man and hips are two of the most important things to have when you play that position. You know what I'm saying? The rest, you have to be there first. Like you got your feet and hips got to get you there. And especially with the wide receiver today, and your hands and your body and and everything else just have to make the play for you. So, I feel like there's a few other players that are out there that could have been better selections, but hey, if they like it, then hey, there it is. There it is.
No, and I'm with you. Like, and that's why I was saying, like, depending on like what for certain teams, for me, I definitely thought he could be a round one guy, like I said, for certain teams, but then for other teams, it's just not gonna happen. I agree with you. He ran 4.40, and I think when I was telling you about it, I looked up his time and it said 4.40. And I think the first thing I said was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and watch some more," because I didn't see that type of speed and athleticism. And I agree with you. He's got very stiff hips, right? So when he has to like try to open and run, I mean, like, boy, he just like you said, he finds himself chasing a lot of the times on like extended upfield routes, especially like on deep posts or whatever, where now he's 15, 18 yards up the field, and now he's got to try to open and track that post, and now he's chasing. And so I'm with you there, but that's why I definitely think he's scheme specific. And then if you put him in the right scheme, I think he's a player. But if you ask him to kind of step outside himself, then yeah, I'm with you. He could be a guy that I could see him being a top 30 player, or I could see him on some boards being a top 60 player. You know what I mean? Or top 60, top 75 style of player. You know what I mean? A guy just depending on kind of what it is you need him to do. But no, I agree though. He's got super stiff hips. But man, I tell you, I love his eyes and off. Like I thought he played. I loved his eyes, and I thought he played under control. Like I thought like he does a good job keeping his feet underneath of him. I feel like when I saw him in the open field, he's not just flying and just diving, hoping he clips somebody on the way to the ground. Like I see him, like he'll break down, gather himself. You know what I'm saying? He'll try to put a body on the guy. I liked him, man. But I definitely wrote like not a fluid mover at all. Stiff hips. That's like the fourth thing I wrote. But yeah, no, I think he's a fantastic off corner, man, zone corner for sure.
Gotcha. And just real quick, Willie Jack, and then I'll let you, and then I'll run it back to you.
Go ahead.
But the Buffalo Bills, they traded away their 28th overall pick to the Patriots. So they traded in division.
Okay.
And the Patriots move up. Buffalo goes back to pick 125. So they trade a first and a third. Yeah, first and a first and the fourth, um, to move up a 3 spots in this draft. And then the Patriots come up and they draft Caleb Lomu. I'm
Mm.
not for me to pronounce it, but
I think it's low
the
moon. Yeah.
out of Utah who played on the other side of Spencer Fano.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually
Ooh.
like that pick. I like that pick, especially with knowing that they're planning on bringing in AJ Brown, so they're going to be help or
Mm.
satisfying that receiver need that they have. The other need that they obviously had, and it showed a lot, especially in that Super Bowl, was offensive line help.
Oh
So
yeah.
drafting an offensive lineman and then bringing in AJ Brown in a trade on June 1st or after June 1st, whenever they execute their trade, hopefully they execute everything. It makes so much
Mm-hmm.
sense because you got your young guy in Drake May. He looks the future of the team. You want to protect him, but then also give him a weapon at the same time. The defense was pretty solid. I don't think that defense was the issue. It was just
Mm-hmm.
more so about protecting Drake May and giving him a weapon to throw to that's actually a legit guy.
Oh yeah. No, I think Keyshawn Butte, is it Butte or Booty? Keyshawn Butte, he made some pretty big strides this last season. He went head to head with Stingley, boy, and he put some buckets up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he had some moments in this last year. Mac Hollins is just a dude. Stephon Diggs, they squeezed some of the last juice out of his legs as well. But I'm with you, man. They definitely need a real deal number one dependable go-to guy for a young stud quarterback, and Drake May and AJ Brown is exactly what they need. I'm with you. I wasn't super high on Caleb Lowe. He's another guy. He's young though, and he is like I just I didn't like his hands. You know what I mean? And so especially he's athletic, but I don't necessarily think he plays to his athleticism, or like he doesn't have great feet and he doesn't have great hands is how I felt about him. But those are things but he's also, I think he's 20. I want to say he's a very young prospect. I know he's a true junior, so maybe he's just turned 21, but he's a very young player. But I do think athletically he's definitely a special prospect in that way. But I do think he's going to need a little work. Now, what's interesting though, Chop, like you said, Will Campbell from LSU, and shout out to my dog Mike Hardy, man. If you still in here up late, we got to work in the morning. If you still in here, big dog, shout out to my dog Mike. But your boy Will Campbell from LSU got abused last year, and definitely like my dog Chop said, in that Super Bowl and in the playoffs before that, I mean, he was a turnstile. And so now you draft Caleb Lomu, who he's athletic, but he's raw. And so now I wonder what that means for Will Campbell. Is Will Campbell going to guard, where a lot of people in last year's draft projected him as more of a guard than a tackle anyway? And then now seeing him struggle the way he did, are they pulling that plug early and maybe going to move him inside and go ahead and kickstart Caleb Lomu on the left? So I'm wondering how they're going to shake up that line, or how that plays out. But I think I just seen the Chiefs pick get in, man. You see it?
Yeah, yeah. It look like the Chiefs. They go Peter Woods, defensive tackle out of Clemson, and
Okay.
yeah, look, Chiefs are trying to get this defense together. Like we already talked about earlier, that they got rid of a few of their defensive back was a position that they needed. But they're looking to strip this
Mm-hmm.
defense. Chris Jones is getting a little bit older, but I think
Mm-hmm.
Peter
He's
Woods, as
slowing
of
down for
right
sure.
now, I think he would serve as the perfect sidekick to Chris Jones. So
Mm-hmm.
Chris Peter Woods is a little bit smaller. He's sitting
Mm-hmm.
just under 290 something pounds as a tackle, 6'2". So I think he provides a lot of explosiveness and power to the defensive line. I think he gets off the line really, really well, which I think will pair well with Chris. And I think it'll all still continue to allow Spags to do a lot more things with the defense, create the rushes that he would like to create, and just create a great do more with this defense. And he likes to be creative anyway, so I definitely think they'll to go that route.
No, and my dog Mike Hardy, man, he had a good comment for it. Said Woods' tape last year was definitely better than this year, and I agree, man. He's definitely he's a gap shooter is what he is. Just like you said, he's undersized. He's a little lighter than I like my tackles, honestly. You know what I mean? Like everybody thinks they Aaron Donald now. Well, you're not. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta have a little meat on your bones, man, inside them trenches. D tackles under 300, you better be Aaron Donald, or you better be a guy that's got something exceptional in that way to differentiate yourself. But I don't necessarily think that, but I do think at his best, I think he could be a player. I do think, like you said, him playing next to Chris Jones is going to really free him up to use that explosiveness against his one-on-one matchups, because Chris Jones is going to demand a lot of attention. And so, and getting him at the bottom of the first, and then just like Mike Hardy said, my dog Mike said, if you get him back to form, last year, going into this season, off of his tape last year, there were people talking about him being the number 1 pick, like a top 5 pick. Like he was looked at coming into this year as a guy that was going to be a top 5, 10 pick. And then Clemson as a whole just didn't perform. Cade Klubnik, the quarterback, he had first round buzz going into the start of this last college season. He completely changed. He's probably going to be undrafted. You know what I mean? TJ Parker is another highly rated guy that was going into this year. He had a down year. Peter Woods, highly rated guy, he had a down year. That Clemson team as a whole just underperformed, and a lot of those guys draft status has suffered because of it. But I'm with you though, man. This is a good spot for him. Bottom of the first, pick 30 to the Chiefs. I don't hate that at all. Putting him next to Chris Jones in that Spags defense as well, where they really let that D line. They get aggressive and let that D line really fire off, man. And so I like that fit there as well. And then, matter of fact, your boy Omar Cooper just went, man. The Jets traded back into the bottom of the first and grabbed him. What you think?
I think the Jets have done a great job in first round. A great
they
job.
Did that.
You
they did that.
David Bailey at number 2.
Yeah.
David Bailey at number 2. Then they go and bring in Kenyon Sadiq at 6. And then with a trade that they got, they also get Omar Cooper as that. So you feel 3 different holes. 1, you add one of the best edge rushers in this draft. 2, you add a weapon, a person who can block, a person who can run, a freak at tight end, and then you add a wide receiver 2 on side of Garrett Wilson that can get open, who's a proven winner, who will get in the zone, like great hands, run after the catch. Like I think they've done a great job in this first round of this draft. So I'm giving this a board A in the first round.
No, I'm with you, dog. They smoked it. I'm not gonna like the Sadiq pick. I feel even better now about the Sadiq pick at 16 because they still did come back and grab your boy Cooper. And even like I didn't like love Cooper, but I did think he was a guy that was going to go in the first round. I expected it, right? I didn't like 16 felt a little rich. Like I thought he was a guy that could have been in play for Cleveland at 24. You know what I mean? So in the 20s, in that 20 to 30 range or somewhere in there. And so just like you said, David Bailey at 2, stud, right? Kenyon Sadiq at 16. At the time, I felt it was a little luxury, but then they still circle back, get Cooper. Fantastic. Fantastic. You know what? They pick where the Giants draft. I don't really like that Giants draft as well, but I was a little higher on Reese. But I love Reese and Manoa. I love that combo in the round 1. But that Jets, yeah, I can't wait to go back and take a look at the full classes of grade. But I think you hit the nail on the head, man. The Jets came out and smoked this draft for sure. Is that another trade? Hold on.
Yeah, and that's
oh, hold on, you might have froze. Oh no, okay, now I got you.
No, I ain't froze. I'm here.
Okay,
I'm here.
But
wow.
Did the Titans Titans traded back in? Am I seeing that right?
Yeah, looks like it. That's what I see. And they draft Edge Keldrick Falk out of Auburn.
Yeah.
They go Edge.
He was a guy that early in the process, I think people were talking about him as a guy maybe being in play for Dallas at 12, but he's a height, weight, speed specimen. He's super young, but he's one of those guys where the production didn't match the size and athleticism. He's also a tweener. And so he played at like 280, 285, and then he tried to lose a little weight to maybe live on the edge. When he went to the combine, got down to like 270, 275 or whatnot. But I think he went the wrong way, man. I don't think he's and it's for Tennessee. I don't think he's a true like outside edge guy. I think he's more suited to be like a 4-eye. Like I think he's a guy that you want in a 5 technique, maybe head up on a tackle in the 3-4, or even maybe not 4-eye, maybe a 5 technique. But yeah, I think that's more so where his game is suited. Tennessee and Robert Salah, man, Robert Salah likes to run wide 9. I don't know, man. I'm trying to see the fit for Tennessee. I don't love this pick. And I didn't love him as a prospect because of, like I said, man, I don't think he's a like a true 4-3 base. Like it, I don't love this pick. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't trying to bash, buddy. I don't necessarily love this pick. But he's a fantastic, like he's 35-inch arms. He's like 6'6". He's pretty fast. He's like 280 pounds lean. You know what I mean? Like he's lean. Like he played at like 280 and he looked like a power forward though. You know what I mean? So and I think he's like 20 years old. So he's a guy as well, man, that maybe you get in early and let him really kind of grow into his body. I think he's going to be a guy that's probably going to play inside, and he's going to be he would be a monster on the inside, in my opinion.
So I heard what you're saying with him. He was a tricky guy to actually scout when I was looking at his film. But you want to know who option that I thought of when I was him? Another tall guy that wasn't like fully developed in terms of like his skill set to do on a night in, night out basis, a game in, out, but would make an impact. And it was in a lot of different ways. He ball down, he would get sacks, he would play well in the run, but he did nothing like super well. Greg Russo. And I know you remember that name.
I didn't like Russo coming out of Miami.
I know you didn't like him coming out of Miami, but he was another one of those guys. He was 6'6", a long frame. He did, like I said, he didn't have the full skill set, but at the next level, they found out what to do with him and made him very effective. I think Keldrick Faulk could be that, especially when you already got a guy like Simmons on that defensive line that allows you to move Keldrick Faulk around in different places and allow him to impact in different ways. Just like alongside Oliver and the guys that he plays. I think Keldrick Faulk. I'm not saying that this pick is an A, that they nailed it and it's out of the park.
Yeah.
But I think he could turn into somebody that could be a long time veteran that'll be could be very effective for them. As they continue to play. So I like the pick. I'll give it a B.
Okay. Yeah. If you're gonna say, because Russo did, I think, come in and play a lot better than I imagined when I was looking at him in Miami. I didn't. So if that's the path you see for him, okay. And like I said, he is young too. I think he's legitimately 20. Like I think he's gonna be 21. I think he doesn't turn 21 until like this summer or something, if I'm remembering correctly. But no, he's definitely young. He's got fantastic size. But like I said, I'm just curious about him truly playing on the edge, and especially in that Robert Salah system, man, where Robert Salah's got. I mean, it's like Nick Bosa plays in a wide 9. You know what I mean? Like in San Francisco. And so I know damn well I can't imagine Falk like playing that style of edge for Salah. But like I said, though, at the same time, though, man, shoot, Robert Salah no better than me. But now, if you think he's gonna make it that Gregory Rousseau, because that's a good comparison as well. But like I said, with that type of size and maybe not a guy that I didn't really see it on the college tape that end up turning into be a pretty decent guy. So I don't hate that comparison. I don't hate that at all. But man, is it
Gotcha.
what we got? We got one left. Seattle on the clock. Do they make this pick or do they get out of there? Yeah.
Nah, they're gonna make this pick, man. They're gonna make this pick. And I see two guys that they could possibly get right.
Okay, talk to me.
So I don't know who they're gonna really pick, but Rick Woolen on. So they can make a pick for again, I'm gonna throw the name out, Jemima McCoy. Play.
Yeah.
And they lost Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet is coming. I think coming in having like a Kadarian Price, a pick that they can make, or Jemima McCoy. 2 picks. I think those could be. What is it? Which one?
That's the pick. As soon as you said his name, it came across my board. Jadarian Price, running back for Notre Dame.
Jadarian Price. Okay.
Go ahead, talk about him a little bit.
Well, that makes sense. So Jadarian Price, I really like Jadarian Price, man. The only reason we didn't see more of him is obviously because of Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love, we know, is probably the best guy. I know he's my number one guy. Willie's number one. Just with the traits that he brings to the table is just it can't argue him. But then when you see Jadarian Price come behind him, like it's not many times that you see a guy as good as a Jadarian Price that has to share time to a guy like Jeremiah Love. But he's a little bit on like he's 5'11", about 203 pounds or so. But he's a very good skill, vision. He has good speed. You'll see him. He has good agility, change of direction. He's able to cut. We didn't see much of him in the passing game, so we don't know how good of a receiver he is because, like I said, you got Jeremiah Love, who's the best. That's taking. We don't really seen the full ceiling of Jadarian Price as of yet, but what he's shown and what was on film was good enough to be able to draw him here. And then you got your it's almost like a thunder and lightning. If Zach Charbonnet comes back and he's healthy, you got your thunder and Charbonnet, he's with a little bit more power. And then you got Jadarian Price, who's a little bit smaller, a little quicker, good vision, and he can make those moves as well. So I like this pick for the Seahawks. This is exactly what they needed.
I wasn't a huge fan of the running back class. I think I did tell you about that. I did appreciate Price. I don't see a round one running back though. Like I don't see him as a guy in the first round you go get personally. It makes me think about when a few years ago when we saw the Seahawks with Pete Carroll draft Rashad Penny in the first round. And I think Rashad Penny was coming out of, it was a more of an off-brand school though, not San Diego State. It wasn't like a major tier 1 program. So Jadarian Price, he went to Notre Dame and he had a lot of exposure, and especially being a guy that got the split carries and spell Jeremiah Love. But I don't know, man. I don't, and especially with the way that the league views running backs and the premium that gets placed on positional value, etc. Like he wasn't a guy for me that I felt like was a guy that I would have took in the first round. I feel like he's like what he was for Jeremiah Love. Like that's what I imagine he is. I don't necessarily know if I want him as just my lead bell cow back. But also to your point, like you said though, Zach Charbonnet coming back, and so it'll be more of a 1-2 punch, more reminiscent of what he just did in Notre Dame. Okay, yeah, I just thought about you did just say that. Okay, looking at it like that, okay, I do like the pick better in that mode. And then honestly, I had been seeing this pick mocked like this was like the kind of chalk pick for a lot of like the draft pundits and platforms and things like that. Jadarian Price going to the Seahawks has almost been like one of the worst kept secrets in the draft. Jadarian Price to the Seahawks and Fernando Mendoza to the Raiders. You know what I mean? The open and the close of the draft, I feel like I saw those 2 picks mocked everywhere. And so it holds true. Like I said, individually, I don't think I didn't see him as a round 1 guy. But speaking to like you just said, he's already a guy that's he knows how to eat in a 2-back system. Seattle has always been a committee team dating back to when Pete Carroll had like a 4-back stable. Remember when it was like Marshawn Lynch and then his 3 backups all got carries? You know what I'm saying? And then even when they transitioned from Marshawn and then brought in like Rashad Penny and a couple of those other backs, and then we get Kenny Walker and Zach Charbonnet. Now Kenny Walker goes out, and so Seattle across multiple coaching regimes. Oh, you know what? That's a GM philosophy then, because that stayed the same past Pete and now into Mike McDonald. So that's a GM principle then, like that committee style back where he wants that full two very viable options in the backfield. So I can respect it, man. I do respect it. I like him as a player. I like him, but I don't know if I saw any. I felt like I didn't see anything. I couldn't figure out like what he did special, or like I couldn't figure out like what he did elite. Like he was real good at a lot of things, but I don't think he just didn't. And maybe because I had to watch him right after I watched Jeremiah Love, and so he looked a little ordinary next to Jeremiah Love. I think that might have been what it was, because I liked him, but I don't know. I didn't love him. I didn't love him. That's what it is.
I think Jeremiah Love kind of did this to the entire back class, because I actually like a couple of guys as running backs in this particular class, but I think Jeremiah Love kind of did that to everybody. It's like, man, Jeremiah Love is something different. And then because of the rankings, Jadarian Price was ranked second on a lot of people's draft boards. So most people watch it in order. So you watch Jeremiah Love, then you watch Jadarian Price, and it's like, watching them right after that, it does give you a little bit of that feeling.
Yeah, man. It's like, hold on, man. Like,
the other part is, so the other part is the Seahawks are similar to the Rams in this way. This is a luxury pick. You know, they got a great defense. They had a set and good offense. You know, they brought back a lot of their weapons. So, hey, we're sitting in position. Let's just go get what we want, and not necessarily what we need, because it's not much that we need right now. You know.
No, that's a fair pick. That's a fair point as well. Hey, real quick, man. I guess that is going to be the end of the draft for sure. We'll chop it up, man, and start winding it down. It's still a school night for both of us. But ZB said that he was a fan of Jonah Coleman, man, and actually thought Jonah Coleman might sneak into the bottom of the first. Did you have any thoughts on Jonah Coleman for ZB? And he's the running back from Washington, right? If I remember right, I think he's the running back from Washington, I believe. If I remember right,
I don't know if you can hear me with that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I think it's a little delay on my side. My bad. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Jonah Coleman is the running back from Washington, and he was solid. I do think he is more of a second / third round running back. He didn't have elite athletic ability, but I also think skill set to where you can plug, right into your starting lineup right away, and he can ball for you a game. Heat up yards. He'll be a good guy. Jonah Coleman is he could be a pretty decent starting running back in the league, but I didn't have him above Jadarian Price, though.
No, I didn't have him above Price. And honestly, speaking of Zach Charbonnet, I think his game is more reminiscent of Zach Charbonnet. I think that might be like a comparison as far as like his skill set, because like I said, I do think he's got good size, and I think he is a powerful guy, and I can see him being a guy, just like you said, that he would be the guy that you use in short yardage. And so I think in that way he sounds like Zach Charbonnet a little bit, and so they probably did want something more of a compliment, because just like Chop said, I think, and Price, another thing about Price, see, I thought Price was bigger. So when he came in, when he was 203, he's 10 pounds less than Jordan Love or than Jeremiah Love. I thought he was a little bit of a bigger back as well. I was surprised when he weighed what he did, but I didn't imagine any other running back outside of Love going in round one. But that's, in most years, that's the case, even with a class that's probably thought of or regarded better. But definitely in this class, I was like, yeah, nah, I didn't really have any of these other guys in round one. But man, hold on real quick. Let me check his chat real quick, man. I think my dog Mike, man, he had a couple comments. We were talking about Kendrick Falk. He said, yeah, man, he's a sneaky 280. I'm telling you, man, if he's 280 pounds, it's a damn good 280, boy. I tell you, because like I said, he's pretty lean, man. He's put together for sure. And so, but on which he said he could be I like that. Cam Jordan. Yeah, okay. I mean, he had a long way to go to play that good, but like his size player profile, yeah, because Cam Jordan was D tackle size and ran like a linebacker. You know what I mean? And Keldrick Falk is that type of athlete as well. That's a good pull, man. Look at Mike. That's a good pull. That's a good pull. My dog Mike said he wants one of them Penn State running backs in round 3 for his Saints. Did you have some thoughts on them? And man, matter of fact, don't let me hold you either, man. It's 10-14, and I'm gonna tell everybody the best we can do for y'all, man. Maybe give y'all another 10 minutes, man. We'll wind it down, then we're gonna go ahead and call it, man. But I know you did definitely do a lot more work on the running backs, man, than I did. And so yeah, if you want to take a chance, man, to speak on it real quick, man, we'll go ahead and wind it on down for sure.
Well, real quick then on those. I actually like both of those running backs. You got Katron Allen and Singleton. Both of those guys out of Penn State. I do like both of them. Katron Allen, I think it's more of like this your traditional, every down back who can do a little bit of everything. And has a decent athletic ability. So I like him. I do think he has good vision. Did have a little bit of a fumbling problem, so we'll just see. Hope if he fixed it, I think he can be solid in the field. But Nicholas Singleton is the one that I'm really intrigued about because he is an athletic freak. He is about 230 pounds. Yeah, he's about 230, well, not 230, about 220 something pounds, 6 foot.
He's damn near. He's not 230. I thought. Yeah, he's like 226 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's tremendously athletic. I think if he gets in the right system or somewhere where they can just, hey, let's run power, and I need you to do this. Very successful in that, especially somewhere they can give him the ball a lot. He doesn't have the best vision. He'll run his own lineman. So, like, in terms of like his ability when you watch him on the field or like his mental, that's what you question the most about Singleton. But I like his athletic ability.
And see, that's exactly what I was going to say. And then Hardy, my dog Hardy said Singleton's the one he want. And just like you said, man, he's got all the size and speed. He's got some of the worst vision of any of the backs in the draft, though. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like you said, like, man, like with all that size, power, and speed, like, man, if we can't harness it, if we can't show you where to go, then what good is it? You know what I mean? Because we see backs like that come around, man, where these guys that have that profile and just can't stick, like just can't get on the field because they can't read that inside zone cutback. You know what I mean? Like they don't understand how to press that outside zone before they take the corner. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't and so I think he's one of those guys, man, where he doesn't have like I didn't feel like he had that style of like understanding of just the position itself and like the nuance that comes along with like being able to capitalize on being 6 foot 230 and runs like 4.36. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm with you there. But now in the third round, yeah, man, go party. I don't hate that at all. You know what I'm saying? Take a shot on the guy, and especially with the Saints because they don't need him. They got Travis Etienne. They just brought in. And so, if you want to take a flyer on a guy in the third, depending on, I don't know what else is there and all that good stuff. But if you're telling me third might still be a little early, but if you're telling me in those later rounds, like you said, if you want to take a flyer on a guy at that position, then yeah, I would think, especially in this draft where I just think there's not a lot of premium guys, and so I'd be willing to take more of a risk on a athletic specimen. Just because I don't think the pick is a little slim. Like Emmett Johnson, I really liked. Am I saying his name right? Emmett Johnson from Nebraska. Mm-hmm. Little short kind of scat back, but he's got vision. He's slow, but you can't be small and slow. He's like 5'8". If you're gonna be an undersized back, you can't be slow as well. Like you can't be 5'8" and be a 4'6" running back because it don't nah. I don't know. And so if I gave Nick Simpson Emmett Johnson's vision, then yeah. You know what I mean? That's a round one back. You know what I'm saying? But
Right, that's a first round back for sure.
yeah, for sure. But no, man. Hey, no, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and wind it on down, man. Any final thoughts? You know what I'm saying? You got on the draft itself, or just or just whatever you got, man. Our dog Cooper Jones said he gonna go ahead and call it, man. Hey, we appreciate you coming through, big dog, man. Kiss my niece for me, man. Bears as well, big dog. I like that Thieneman pick for y'all. I appreciate you coming through for sure. Yeah. But go ahead, man. If you got any just final thoughts or just kind of sign off or whatever you got for the people, man, go ahead and do your thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll just say first off, you for inviting me on. You know, it's all love. But whenever I can do it, I definitely would happy to come on here with you, man, and do what we do.
Yeah, man.
This is why we love the draft, man. You get a lot of unpredictable in the first round. You know, Ty Simpson going to the Rams. You got, some players falling, Mekhi Lemon falling all the way back to the Eagles, who end up picking him. Like surprises that happen, and no matter how much research you do, a fan, you really just don't know what's gonna happen, man. So, man, it's fun to watch, and I'll be paying attention for the next couple of days, see where a lot of these other guys go.
Oh no, hey, you and me both, big dog, and just like you said, man, you already know what it is, man. That's my dog, man, my brother, man. It felt good to see you on the other side of that screen, man. It's been a long time, man. I definitely appreciate you coming through, hanging out. You know what I'm saying? I know you, man. You got husband and daddy duties at the crib, man. So shout out to my sister-in-law as well. You know what I'm saying? I know she had to hold it down for the kids by herself, man. So I can steal you for the night, man. So definitely give her my love, man. Tell her I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Tell my nephew and my niece, man. Uncle Willie love them and all that good stuff, man. I appreciate you. And then yeah, man, we man, you already know, man. I'm gonna hit you up, man. I would definitely have to pick your brain, man, and kind of get into, you know what I'm saying, especially getting to some of these classes, man, and all of that, man. So I can't wait to chop it up with you offline, like we always do anyway. But yeah, nah, man. Sure. I'm definitely down, man. We'll talk, man, and maybe if it makes sense, man, I would love to have you back, man. Every now and again, man, we can get in here and just shoot it like we used to, man. So it felt good, man. I appreciate you for sure. And then let me see. I'm gonna check this chat real quick, man. Other than that, man, we're gonna go ahead and wind this thing on down, man. The 2026 NFL Draft Round 1 is in the books. But before we get out of here, I know it's been a long night, but we still got to do that real member roll call. We're gonna go real quick, man. First one to the door, my dog, J2 Trill, holding it down for them Dallas Cowboys, man. I know he was very excited about their draft tonight. My dog Tom holding it down for them for them Houston Texans. Second one in the door. I appreciate your homeboy. Sis was in the building. I'm trying to go as fast as I can, y'all. I know my dog, Mike Hardy, man, was in the building. My dog, ZB, man, favorite coworker in the building, man, holding down for his Chargers. There's a few new names in this thing. I got you, D-Dot, man. You know it's Big Nation business. I got you. Man, I'm looking for the rest of y'all, man. I promise. I'm sorry. Y'all know what's going on. Say the same thing every week. Feel free to say it with me at home. If I forgot to say your name, damn, my bad. But charge it to my head and don't charge it to my heart, big dog. You know we thinking about you, man. You know what's going on. Appreciate all the love and support as always, man. Man, hey, I know I've been MIA, man. I've been grinding, man. Me and my dog Chop been talking all out, man. I've been grinding. I had to let the shows go to make sure I had time to watch all the film and take that I wanted to, man. So putting a lot of time and effort into it. All of that just to have a good time talking, kicking flavor with my dog, man. Talk about with y'all. And so appreciate that, man. Appreciate y'all sticking it out. And just like that, man, we out this thing. We will be back. I'll get back to y'all, man. I'm gonna touch back in probably either Saturday or Sunday, man. We'll recap this draft. And then, you know what I'm saying, Chop, man, if you're in the mood, man, we'll chop it up, man. If you want to pull back up and maybe recap the draft with me, man, that'd be something I would definitely love, man. We'll chop that up. But other than that, I'm gonna let everybody go, man. Y'all have fun. I hope y'all have fun tonight. Enjoy yourselves, man. Shout out to y'all families for letting y'all stay up late and rock with us. And just like that, we out this thing, man. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.